Dear Mother, I was visited again by the trio today. It's been some time since I last met with all three in person. Their presence grounds me. Of course, I constantly hear their voices in my mind, guiding me, encouraging me, uplifting me. But seeing them with my own eyes once more strengthens my resolve and helps me push away those doubts that creep in. Sari, Ezra, Victor, Bolt, and I made our way to the airship, the greatest treasure, after gathering our things from the Whistling Bull. There is a hulking tower in the middle of Balin's berth with dozens of airships docked beside it. We were directed to Floor 4, Port 3, to board our ship. We began to ascend the stairs when I suddenly noticed, out of the corner of my eye, a flash of black fur. A single owl feather then floated to the ground. I asked the others to head to the airship without me, explaining that I needed just a moment to myself. I quickly followed the slithery tail of the fang down an alleyway. Waiting for me around the corner were the claw, the fang, and the talon, standing before me in their humanoid forms. I have forgotten how superbly beautiful they each are. The talon with her piercing honey amber eyes, the claw with her mane of gleaming thick waves, the fang with an ever-playful smile on her lips. The trio praised me for my choice of companions. This came as both a surprise and a relief. I want so badly to please my ladies, and it is a comfort to know that I am making choices that will propel me along the path they have paved. At the same time, Sari, Victor, Ezra, Bolt, and I are certainly an unlikely team. We have a wanted wizard carrying a tome of powerful, heavily classified magic, a blind knife dancer turned bounty hunter, a Warforged who find themselves lost despite having traveled all of Aneria, a soldier who communes with her gods through a flute-turned spear, and a runaway nobody whose sheltered upbringing is a constant stumbling block of frustration. The one thing we all seem to have in common are our dysfunctional families. The trio advised that I would find something special in Hollowbend Sanctum, an item that looks surreal and out of place in this world. I have no idea what they mean, but I suspect I'll understand when I see it. I asked for the help of the Fang on my journey. It is comforting to know she will be close by. Before they sent me along my way, the trio bestowed their blessing upon me and my comrades, a boon of rest and recovery. I am most grateful for their generosity. I suspect we may run into more trouble before the day is done. I have somehow been selected by the group to be a temporary leader. I fear I am an imposter, Avosia Ferricu, the charlatan of Six Hills. I have agreed to head the party for the time being. I felt it impolite to refuse such an offer, even if I am unqualified. Sari has been most encouraging and, quite naturally, is my second in command. By vote or by appointment, she has no choice. The greatest treasure is a profoundly modest airship. Ship is perhaps a bit of a generous description. The vessel was quite literally falling apart from the moment we boarded to the moment we arrived at our destination. The owner and the ship's captain is a white kobold who calls himself Kes. His clothing, though filthy from tinkering with the mechanics of the airship, was expertly adorned with all the tools of his trade. A frying pan hung from his belt, and a large fishhook that ran the length of his spine was strapped to his back. I shudder to think of the monsters Kes may be trying to lure with a hook that size. However, what he lacks in fashion sense, he makes up for with his sparkling personality. He was very proud to show us around the ship, except for his engine room, which he kept under lock and key. He built her from scratch with his own 2 hands. A labor of love indeed. We set off on our flight to Hollowbend Forest, a small thicket just off the long road, about 15 miles southwest of Six Hills. The journey was energizing. The air at such an elevation is unimaginable. It almost has its own fragrance, a bouquet of crisp and colorful auras. But more than the scent was a feeling of renewal and peace, as if the wind that kissed my face and filled my lungs had some sort of miraculous affection. I think I like flying. As we approached the forest and began our descent, we spied a large wagon, which we assume belongs to Ainor Elovir, the gnome we've been sent to retrieve. One by one, we climbed down from the airship on a rather frayed-looking rope ladder. Amazingly, we all made it down the ladder unscathed. It even held Bolt's mass of metal. The wagon, which we found in a small clearing, had a broken axle and was turned on its side. It didn't appear to be occupied, but we approached with caution nonetheless. It was empty. The ground was littered with several broken jars of pungent spices. Ainur Elovir is a distinguished and honored chef. It doesn't surprise me that an artist of her caliber would travel with her medium of choice. Victor quickly picked up the scent of the spices and began following it deep into the woods. There were small drops of blood along the way. Not enough to confirm an untimely death, but enough to suspect someone had been hurt. We followed Victor down a rugged trail that ended before a stone archway. The archway seemed so out of place in the middle of the woods. Could this be the item the trio alluded to? There was an air of foreboding about the carefully placed stone. I don't know how I'm expected to be a leader to a group of headstrong sovereign soldiers. While we began discussing how to best approach the archway, Sari walked right through it, followed shortly thereafter by Victor, on the other end of a rope anchored to a tree. Ezra, Bolt, and I watched as both Sari and Victor vanished into thin air as they crossed the archway's threshold. My stomach began to tie itself into knots. I couldn't abandon Ezra and Bolt, but who knew what we would find on the other side of the entrance that poor Victor and Sari were now left to tackle alone. Ezra, the gifted wizard that he is, could sense the presence of time magic from the arch. We all looked at one another, our eyes wide. Time magic is barred by the Arcanum. If they find out we've been participating in the practice of time magic, I can only imagine what the repercussions will be. But we couldn't leave Victor and Sari on their own. I held my breath and closed my eyes as I stepped through the archway. Curiously, we all seemed to arrive on the other side of the portal in tandem. This confirmed Ezra's suspicions about the chronergy magic in use. We found ourselves in a courtyard surrounded by a massive forest, comprised of beautiful trees with the most splendid leaves. Encircling the courtyard were 3 identical archways. We turned around to find the archway we had traveled through had disappeared. Each of the 3 archways before us sported a magical barrier of sorts, almost like a fine, luminous fabric had been draped inside each of the entrances. The first was covered by a translucent blue barrier. When looking through and beyond the barrier, the forest appeared to change to a winter scene. Instead of beautiful green leaves upon the trees, the limbs were bare, and the ground covered in thick white snow. The second archway donned an orange barrier, beyond which the forest appeared burnt. The trees were a scorched charcoal black, not a hint of life in sight. The sky was a dull gray with ominous thin clouds hanging to it. The third barrier was purple. Beyond this veil was not a forest, but a large and complicated-looking labyrinth of purple crystals, twists and turns, angles and bends, as far as the eye could see. In the center of the courtyard was a small, stone-crafted fish pond. Within the pond stood 3 podiums. Atop one of the podiums was a cylindrical pillar with a teardrop etched into the side of it. At the foot of the podiums were several dead mudmen, like the ones we had fought at the festival. We weren't sure what we were looking at and began to contemplate our situation when we heard a peculiar voice. The owner of the voice was a pink fairy dragon who calls herself Glitterbug. I can't speak for the others in our group, but I, for one, was amazed by this marvelous creature. She appeared out of nowhere and in the blink of an eye could move from Sari's shoulder to on top of Ezra's head. She reminded me of a serpent, but with arms and legs and the wings of a butterfly. She had little horns growing out of her head and the most friendly and mischievous smile. Glitterbug is quite cheeky, and I'm not sure if she's been completely forthcoming with us, but here is what we have learned. Hollowbend Sanctum is a crucible of sorts, a series of tests that prove a person's worth. Glitterbug is the guardian of the sanctum and unable to leave at will. Recently, a darkness has spread in the burned forest. There's another guardian who resides there. His name is Ambaris. But since the arrival of the darkness, Glitterbug can no longer feel his presence. Because Glitterbug cannot leave the sanctum, she sent her friends, the Mudmen and the Rock Elemental, for help, but they lost sight of their goal and attacked. The only way out of the sanctum is by completing the tests. Ainur Elevir is within the sanctum and is currently in the archway with the purple shroud. As we were digesting the information provided by Glitterbug, Bolt began inspecting the blue teardrop pillar. Bolt reached out their metal finger and touched the teardrop. Instantly, their body was wrapped in a cloud of faint blue light. They promptly walked toward the archway with the blue barrier and walked through to the other side. Victor hopped to his feet and followed Bolt through the same archway. However, Victor was unable to pass and fell to the ground, shivering with cold. It became clear that we all must touch the teardrop before crossing the threshold. When I touched the teardrop, I looked toward the archway, but the blue barrier had vanished. We all made our way through the pass and into the wintry forest. Once again, when we turned back to the archway, it had disappeared. There was a winding path cut through the frozen trees. The only way out was to move forward. The sun shone on the glittering snow. As we traveled along the icy path, Glitterbug's voice rang through the woods. Ice and frost, found and lost, lovers turned to hate. Fur and fangs, silky manes, peace is far too late. Win the war to best the floor and free them from their state. It all sounded very convoluted and mysterious, but soon her meaning became clear. We entered a small clearing where we found a humanoid suspended in the air beneath the branches of a tree. Upon further inspection, we realized the body was stuck in a massive web of shiny white spider silk. As we approached the tree, 2 massive spiders emerged. They weren't immediately hostile and seemed willing to speak with us. We asked if they had seen a gnome pass through, but they hadn't. Before we could ask any more questions, a pack of large white wolves entered the clearing, teeth bared and growling. As they charged forward to attack the spiders, one of them screamed, "Death to the traitor queen!" The spiders were soon encircled by the snarling beasts. I thought it best to stay out of the conflict. We had no allegiance to the spiders, we had only just met them. But, yet again, the forces I've been elected to lead have a will of their own, and soon Bolt was in the middle of the fray. What could I do but laugh and jump right in? Sarai expertly took down the first of the 4 wolves. Her spear sliced through the air, and I could hear the gentle hum of the choir above the yelp of the mutt. I looked to Bolt to find a chain of barbed wire unraveling from their arm. They told me later that it was an improvement they had implemented the other night at the Bull's Whistle. As Bolt was whipping their chain around, I turned to see the most magnificent magic erupting from Ezra's hands, shooting across the clearing, completely annihilating another of the wolves. Victor's knives were flying about, slicing tufts of fur here and there. For the first time since I've been in combat with Victor, one of his knives returned to his hand after he threw it. I witnessed the same phenomenon with Yinny in our sparring match. It's as if Victor is controlling the knife with his mind. That, or the knife has a mind of its own. Regardless of the mechanics, the knives are effective, and Victor took down the 3rd wolf. The final wolf, completely outnumbered, turned to run. I stuck it with my longsword, and the wolves were no more. We turned to the 2 large spiders for an explanation. What had these wolves meant by the traitor queen? They explained that years and years ago, the king and queen of this land were raising their daughter, the princess, together. Apparently, the king and queen couldn't agree on how to rear her, and their disagreement ultimately ended in their daughter's death. The king, queen, and their subjects were cursed for their actions, and the entire kingdom was transformed. The queen and her followers were turned into giant spiders. The king and his transformed into huge wolves. The 2 spiders spun us a silk handkerchief as a symbol of endorsement. We were instructed to give it to the Winter Queen. We left the spiders and continued forward along the path. After some time, we came upon another clearing. This one had 4 large plants in it. The first had beautiful tube-like flowers, like that of a honeysuckle. The next had 2 hemispheres with sharp spines along the edges, like a terrifying, starving mouth. The 3rd plant was dripping with a golden nectar, and the last displayed a singular white bell-shaped blossom. In the middle of the plants, and facing the plant with the teeth, was another humanoid who had been completely turned to stone. Ezra approached the dripping plant and bravely dipped his finger in the nectar. As he brought his finger to his mouth, he declared his actions were in the name of science, and he ingested the honey-like substance. His eyes met Victor's, and it was immediately clear that the nectar was some sort of love potion. Ezra spent the next hour absolutely enamored with Victor. Every word Victor said was suddenly brilliant. After Ezra's little experiment, we were a bit more careful with the other plants. Bolt was able to extract some acid from the honeysuckle. Victor smashed the ferocious-looking plant with its most recent victim, and I picked the white bell blossom. Ezra inspected it for me. Well, he inspected it for Victor, really, and discovered that the flower, called a divine bulb, has magical properties that can create both food and water. I think it will come in handy. Beyond the plants, we found that the path forked. The spiders had told us that the queen would be to the left, the king to the right. At some point in our scuffle with the wolves, they revealed that they had seen a gnome, which we can only assume is Ainur Elovir. The group looked to me for a decision of which direction we should head. Because we were guaranteed safety with the spiders, thanks to our handkerchief, we turned left. There are few things more unsettling than entering a den of spiders. Their little ticks and clicks reverberated in my ears. Thousands of blinking, shining eyes watched us from the darkness. As promised, the handkerchief did indeed grant us an audience with the queen. The queen was the largest of the spiders. Despite being a hairy arachnid, she had a regal air about her. The queen confirmed the story of the curse, adding that the only way to break the curse is to end the war. She implied that ending the war could only happen through death. I can only begin to imagine the pain she feels. I weep in the dark of night longing for you, Mother, but I at least have the comfort of knowing you are alive. If you were dead, and as a direct result of my own actions, there's no telling what I would do. A broken heart often oozes rage. Victor and I argued that perhaps the queen and king could reconcile their differences, but the queen wouldn't hear it. She wanted blood. We needed to get to the wolves to discover Ainur's whereabouts, so we reluctantly answered the queen's call to arms. We each climbed onto the back of a spider and rode them into battle. We arrived at the mouth of a massive cave, a gaping hole in the side of a giant mountain. The den of spiders was terrifying, but a cave housing an extensive pack of wolves? My knees nearly buckled at the thought of what awaited us. We meekly approached the king, who we found alone in the cave. His subjects had been sent to fight the attacking spider army. Reason hadn't worked with the queen, but we hoped the king would come to his senses. Victor's voice echoed through the cave as he spoke, his voice bouncing off the walls, a gentle reiteration to drive his words home. He asked the king if he remembered his daughter's laugh, a simple question that stopped the king in his tracks. Would you be surprised if I told you that a terrible curse and a raging war born of spiteful words could be ended with a laugh? Unbelievable? Yes. But true? Absolutely. I believe I have misjudged Victor. When someone introduces themselves as a bounty hunter, it's easy to label them as a heartless, blood-hungry monster. But after hearing him reason with the Wolf King, I realize he and I are not so different. We both love our family deeply. Family can shape us into a more refined form. We can be transformed through their love. Hearing Victor speak of love and family has me convinced that he is more than just a bounty hunter, more than just a knife dancer. He is a son, and I can tell he takes that title very seriously. The Wolf King thanked Victor for his goodness and left the cave to make amends with the queen, his wife. As he left, an archway appeared. Finally, a way out. It seems we passed our first test. We took a look around the cave and found a small pile of treasure. Within the pile was a stone shaft with a flame carved into the side. We filled our pockets with the items worth keeping and made our way through the archway. We found ourselves once again in the courtyard. I'm already feeling a bit wary, and we're only 1/3 of the way through this test. The purple barrier is our next nemesis. Who knows what conflict awaits us on the other side? Love, Eve.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Session 4 of Tales of Aneria. Our lovely party of heroes has just completed the winter, or what Glitterbug refers to as Snowland, in the Hollowbend Sanctum. And now we find ourselves, once again, in the courtyard, a new pillar in hand, this time with a small flame on it. It's about 40 pounds heavy. Smooth stone, pretty smooth for comparative. Like, it's not marble, it's just regular.
Pick up one of the dogs.
Pick up one of the dogs. Like, it'd be like 2 dogs.
So,
yeah. Unless your dog's not 40 pounds.
No.
Anyway,
half of my dog.
Glitterbug kind of congratulated you on the rather odd method at which you completed your first trial, but they don't seem to be
Peace, not war.
Yeah, they don't seem to be too worried about like you guys not going through this combat area and not doing combat or much combat.
They're not anti-Care Bear.
Mm-hmm. And as a reminder, who here has the Divine Bulb?
I do.
You have the Divine Bulb. Okay, perfect.
Eve does, yes.
Yes.
Colby, Sarah has the
Something.
frost.
Potion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Potion of Frost resist. Yep. And then whoever has the handkerchief can keep it, by the way. The Spider Queen's, or the Winter Queen's handkerchief.
I think I have that.
And as a reminder, you all also do have some sweets that are magical in nature.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever need to, yeah.
Like and like all,
Nico's Sweet Shop.
like all consumables.
Not sponsored.
like,
Thanks, Nikos.
like all consumables, I will end the campaign without using them.
Yes. That's exactly
Because I will be waiting for
You
the
have to
right
pour them.
moment, and
Yeah.
I will be afraid that I will choose poorly, and then I will never use them.
All right. So, you guys have entered back in. If you want, you can take a short rest here. Recover some hit points if anybody lost any hit points.
Didn't we get a magical long rest?
Before.
Yes,
Before.
I think
I
Victor took
lost
some
5.
damage.
I lost 5 hit points,
Yeah.
so...
So, if you'd like to, you can
Yeah,
start
but no resources and have full health.
We got the long rest because
Because of the.
Eve went to the
Yeah.
trio,
That's right.
and they
Oh, that was before. Yeah, that was
and
before.
they granted that boon.
I'm gonna cast Booming Blade on myself and hurt myself so that I can then recover hit points during my short rest. So I don't feel like I've wasted.
do you get that spell slot back?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a cantrip.
That's cantrip, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Burn a spell
I'm gonna
slot.
hex things and because I get them back on a short rest. So.
I am going to use my arcane recovery and get my 1 burn spell slot back.
Actually, while we're taking that short rest, sorry, you're trying to listen to the choir again, or they're technically always there,
Right.
but most of the choir has been muted at this point.
So
It's
they
like
were
they're
discordant
dull.
before.
It's like they're dull and far away, and there is just one of those deep. It almost sounds like throat singing, kind of that deep reverberation that is going through your mind, and in it you can hear ideas of ways to shroud yourself. The voice in that singing is almost whispering ideas that you didn't really think were part of what the choir was about. You think the choir was bold and they sang out with 1,000 voices and righted injustice, but there's this kind of a small undertone, and it doesn't feel like it's a lot of voices, maybe 1 or 2, but there is definitely an undertone there that is telling you that there are other paths. There are other ways to get the power that you've seen before, right? The power of these other beings that once held the Choir of the Crags as their primary weapon, and all you need to do is ask, and they will receive, or they will bestow these gifts on you.
Okay.
All for one.
I think I will keep these things and ponder them in my heart.
Okay. Alrighty.
So at the end of the last session, I remember bringing that pillar pedestal thing in and setting it back down on the stone pad in the pond, and then touching it along with the blue one.
Yep. And so you touch the new pillar, and you get a red glow about you. And then you touch the blue one, and the red and blue mingle together and become purple, and the purple archway is
That's right.
cleared.
My note just says, purple archway open.
Yep. So once you're done with the short rest,
I assume that you were the only one that was hearing the crag. It wasn't like a...
Right. I don't think that's
sound
something.
the only one who actually appears to be hearing this is Glitterbug. who just is kind of watching you intently, almost like she's listening in on this conversation, but she doesn't say anything. She just kind of...
In that case, I might ask her.
Yeah.
Say, what are you looking at, Pixie?
You know, I'm not quite sure. Elf? Dwarf?
Dwelf is the proper term, actually.
Human. Remember? Everyone says it's just you just took extra steps to make a human. Halfway between a dwarf and an elf.
But yet there's something more, isn't there? Some sort of deep rumbling inside you.
I don't know if it's inside me per se. It's more sort of around me, and it's really primarily coming from my spear, who I like to call Craggy. Would you like to take a closer look?
She dives and grabs Craggy in her jaws and kind of like puts it onto the ground and starts like putting an ear up against it a little bit, her wings fluttering slightly, and then she kind of picks it up, and it in her hands it changes into like a little golden bauble, and she like puts it up, and then it's like, it's very shiny, and then she just kind of, she's got very dexterous claws apparently, and she just kind of tosses it back to you, and as soon as you touch it, it turns back into its proper form. Yeah.
I didn't think that was possible.
Everything's possible. And then she just kind of trots over to the water and starts lapping at it like a normal animal would.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
I think I'm liking this creature less and less the more I know of her.
I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, I kind of agree with you on that.
Why don't we go on to this next arch here and get out of this place as soon as we can?
Yes. Thank you, number 2.
You can just smack him anytime you want.
During that short rest, when I'm throwing my daggers, does the returning only seem to happen with Shadow Song or with any of the daggers?
I can't get it quite with any other
So just Shadow Song.
blade yet. Just Shadow Song.
Got it.
And it only seems to be about a
Because I'll be like
a
testing
1 in
that.
4 chance. So basically, just roll like a d4,
Okay.
and on a 4, it'll return back to you.
Victor, I can tell you've been thinking about your knives.
What
gave it away?
What
I don't
gave
know.
me away? Was it
It's
the knives?
the fondling and the...
Well,
The actively shooting them into the trees?
You sleep with one. Like, oh, don't worry, I'll protect you.
Indeed, I
Can...
Yes.
You...
Go ahead.
I noticed that one returned to you when we were fighting those wolves. I've been very curious about that. How does that work?
yes, that's something I'm trying to put a finger on as well to make more reliable. It's something we call bonding the blade. It's something that if you spend enough time as a blade dancer, you have the ability to how do you say,
dance with your blade.
yes, it becomes like a partner in the dance. And as you throw it and you bring it back, it's the ebb and flow of battle.
Beautiful.
Similar to
That's beautiful.
Yinny.
Yes,
Back in town.
yes.
We saw her bring her blade back to.
That is precisely what she was trying to help me understand a little bit better, and I hope that we get there in time, because if I stand her up a second time, she might cut my throat. I don't know.
I think she was trying to help him understand a little more.
I
if you
don't know
what I
that
mean.
what you mean by that, but
So, do your weapons talk to you as well?
they Shadow Song speaks in a way, yes.
It is a bit of a song, isn't it? Well, it's something we have in common then.
Yes, mine doesn't turn into fancy cups or anything, but it's good enough for me.
Do they ever sound out of harmony to you?
When they don't strike their targets true, it kind of feels like they might be. But I can't say that they, I mean, here, listen.
And I throw a Shadow Song, and it's just like a mournful flies through.
It's sad because you threw it away. Then it comes back. Yeah.
That is a new sound. I haven't heard that before.
It's definitely haunting, but not discordant.
I'm afraid I'm not in this case.
Bolt picks his mace up and goes, Nothing. Nothing.
It's a good hypothesis, but
It doesn't even. I can't even hear the ocean.
You forgot to say for
Or
science.
sorry, I can't even hear the rivers.
That's how you make it work. You just scream for science the loudest you can.
For
I
science.
wouldn't recommend that.
I thought it was entertaining.
How does Ezra look at Victor now that this is worn off?
Kind of normal, but a little bit like every now and again, like I'm spooked that I saw something in you.
He's got that. He's got that.
Like it gets me up, like off edge a little bit. Like,
That's weird.
I have a way with people.
Yes. We'll get you back to Yeni and you'll find out just how good your way with people is.
I don't understand.
Even Ezra's picked up on it by this point.
it took a few episodes.
And Victor's still adamant that it's just knife dance.
It's just knife dancing.
Is that what kids these days are calling it? Knife dancing.
Make sure you have a knife's width between you as you are knife dancing.
I mean, blades are pretty thin.
Length, yeah. No.
All right.
You guys are fun.
Glitterbug, what is beyond this archway? What do you have in store for us? Please.
Puzzles.
Puzzles.
Mm-hmm. Little things that I've designed based on memories that I saw within you. Maybe something you've experienced recently, or maybe something that just kind of was in passing, but decided would be fun to test.
If it's the crystalling, you're all dead. I'm sorry. I'll be only one to survive. I will tell people your story.
Well, I
And her eyes flash purple for a moment. She goes, "Oh, that'd be a good one.
Oh no.
Maybe next time."
Never mind.
It's
I
like,
said nothing.
it's like
as-
those Ghostbusters.
as she's
Like,
like-
don't think of anything. Don't
I
think
said-
of anything.
As she's
What
like,
did you think of?
and then like a little mudman kind of forms, and she goes, "Go into area 1," and she starts whispering a little bit to it. And then
we
the
better
mudman,
get
like,
in there before she has time to prepare anything else.
Let's
and
expedite.
it's hollowing off. So I'm assuming that everybody touches both pillars.
Yep.
Yes.
And then heads on in. So
I want to take up the rear, and right before I enter the portal, I'm going to turn around and look at Glitterbug. And I'm going to go, enjoy the show, and then I walk forward through the portal.
I will. And then, as you step through, it's not like last time where it just disappears, but you see the crystal kind of walls that make up this labyrinth, this tunnel that you guys are in. They start shifting and cracking together until it seals you in.
Diagonally.
Sort of.
Awesome.
It's diagonally.
Diagonally.
Oh, and it's dark.
Oh, sweet.
What do you mean it's dark? It's fine.
Good thing I have dark vision.
Dark vision.
It finally comes in handy.
So who does
Do you
not
just have
dark
like
vision?
lamps for eyes?
Iron Giant style.
Yeah. No. I don't have dark vision or anything.
Okay. I do.
So it is literally just Bolt. There's always one character.
He had to be that guy.
I'll tell you what, I will show you the way.
I go, okay. And I actually extend a little bit of the thorn whip, and I hand it, and I say, careful.
I'll hold it and...
This is attached to me, so be gentle.
It's his leash. Be
I
careful.
don't know how I feel about this.
Well, I was going to say, hey now, but you took the words right out of my mouth. All right. So you continue along this kind of winding path, and at first, this labyrinth just seems like a long hallway. There are no branches. There are no anything. But I will, once you get to that first fork in the road, I will need a survival check from whoever wants to lead the group.
I'll do it.
Our fearless leader.
9.
So you guys wandered for about 20 minutes, having to double back a few times. The timer is currently at, I believe, and this is going to be awful for people who are watching this in sequence and know the exact time. I think it's about 3 hours now. So for the sake of my sanity, we'll say that it just hits that it just hits that 3 hour mark. That's unfortunately you do have
There
to
was
double back
time
and
magic.
everything. You did take the wrong path to begin with, but
Whatever.
you do end up finally into a room. And this room seems to be a central kind of crystal area. And as you walk in, these little sconces in the corners light up with purple flame and begin flickering. And then the purple flame changes to pink and then back to purple, almost like yeah.
That's better.
Mm-hmm. And it's bouncing off the walls and kind of creating this cool, like, little funhouse mirror aspect to it as you guys observe your reflections. And for a moment, it almost looks like your reflections aren't doing exactly what they're supposed to. Sari, as you look at your reflection, you see, like, other figures around you, nebulous. You see a halfling. You see a dwarf woman with crying out in battle, that kind of thing. It's the first time that you've ever seen, outside of a vision directly from the choir, that you've ever seen anybody of your, or any form of your patron other than their nebulous, wispy, rigmarole. Victor, it's pleasant. It sounds pleasant. The noise bouncing off the walls echoes and reverberates really good.
Okay.
And in the center of this room is a single pedestal with 5 gems running up the side. They as you kind of look at them, like, these gems are very clearly, like, sticking out in a specific way. And
how many gems? I'm sorry.
5.
Okay.
The pedestal itself holds a small diorama, a crystalline diorama of the labyrinth that you guys appear in. And you can see a little single figure that looks like, we'll say it just looks like, let me see what it looks like. It looks like a little tiny glitter bug. So it's just sitting in the center in a room that looks very similar to the one that you're in, and there are a set of 3 doors that, and you can look up and you can see the crystal kind of shift to kind of ruby in a certain area in sort of a door-like pattern, sapphire in another, topaz in another, and you can see that written on each of these doors is a word. And the first word, one of them is in common, one of them is in celestial, and then one of them is infernal.
Common, celestial, and infernal.
Yep.
Oh, so just
no primordial. I'm gonna walk up to the diorama.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hold Craggy, and I'm gonna go like and turn it into, like, a very small spear.
Okay.
That's, like, as big as the what's
Glitter
the
bug.
glitter bug, as
The
big as
size.
glitter bug, and I'm just gonna, like, put it next to her and see what happens.
Okay. So you put the spear next to her. You give it just a moment, and then it looks like Craggy disappears, and you kind of, like, blink and frantically look around a little bit, and then you see that the spear is next to you in full size on the ground.
Okay, I'll pick it up.
So what does the door with the common say?
The topaz door has common writing that says unsafe. Does
And
anybody?
I speak celestial.
Okay.
So
So the sapphire has celestial writing, and the word translates to safe. And then you have a ruby door that has infernal writing.
So
And as you guys have done this, it's been about a minute, and that the first crystal on the bottom of this pedestal lights up.
What color are the crystals?
The ones on the bottom are the same kind of amethyst, purple crystals. This one is just glowing with purple light now.
are they, like, in a row, or are they, like, around the
It
pedestal?
looks like they're down at the bottom, scaling
Okay.
up. So like,
So, like,
there's the
stacked?
pedestal, and they're like stuck through the pedestal in like a stack, and the one at the bottom.
Oh.
So like where the drag race.
Do you
lights.
suppose we're on a bit of a timer here? Can anyone read any of these doors?
Yes, the sapphire one I can read. It's in celestial, and it translates roughly to safe.
Safe.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I suppose it could be, what's it called? Reverse psychology, but maybe we should take the safe door?
Perhaps the ruby door means maybe. And that
Another crystal lights up.
Ah,
I'm a little nervous about this. Permission to go through the safe door?
You don't need my permission.
Well, you
Sorry.
gave me such a hard time about being the number 2 earlier.
Do it.
Okay, I go through the door.
You touch the area
Or
that is
try
the
to go
crystal,
through the door, I should
and
say.
nothing happens.
Okay.
Yep. Looking at the maze, you do see that those are openings rather than actual like walls. These 3 openings.
So we're
Wait.
Does the
out of character. We're trying to match the diorama to our actual surroundings.
Can I want to try and grab one of the on the pedestal with the lights. Are they removable?
No.
Okay.
You can go ahead and give me a strength DC if you want.
I don't have very good strength. It's a -1, so that's a.
I'm going to attack the door.
No. Okay. Go ahead and roll me your attack. As you struggle with that crystal, another one lights up.
Ding.
Oh,
3 now?
3 now.
18.
We only have 5.
18. Yeah. You kind of see like a scratch appear in the surface, and then it just stitches itself back up.
Are all 3 doors closed? Or is one of them like
All three appear to be closed as far as you guys can see around you.
I can't see the map. Is this a topographical map that I could?
Yeah, like
Sound
you
here,
can like
see?
sit here and feel around. You can't
feel
see
like-
anything. You can't like feel anything beyond.
I can't
'cause
feel
it's
colors or anything, but
No.
like.
But
So-
you can feel 3 openings, and then everything beyond it is covered.
Would I be able to feel like the room that we're in and the shape that it is? Would I be able to find a location that's similar to that?
Mhm.
So feeling that.
Yeah.
what
So
happens if I, like,
as you
push
kind
on
of
the
as you
door?
kind of move around, you bump the figure and kind of slide it a little bit to the right, and the entire room shifts to the right a little bit towards whichever door you accidentally bumped into.
I don't know what I did.
What was that?
I don't know.
A 4th crystal lights up.
What figure did you bump?
It was just there's only the glitter bug figure. That is. The
I
only
think I
figure.
touched the figure and things moved.
Hold on, I want to try something.
I'm gonna try and move the figure through the doorway.
Which one are you trying to move
The
through?
safe doorway.
The one that says safe. The
Yeah, sapphire.
Okay. So you hit the door and it slams closed and the figure hits against it. Everybody needs to roll me a deck save as the room flashes with bright light.
Sorry, everybody.
It's worth a shot.
It was a red herring.
16.
Dexterity.
21.
Yep. 16, 21,
21.
21,
4, 17.
17. So everybody else is able to kind of close their eyes really quick. Victor, you probably have advantage on this. And unfortunately, Bolt isn't able to in time take 10 radiant damage.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
It
But
burns.
all of the crystals go black again, and then what do you do?
What
Well,
happened?
perhaps we ought to try the red one. Although, if safe hurt, maybe unsafe. Maybe it was reverse psychology after all.
I'm afraid maybe Bolt would survive another doorway test.
I feel like Amelia Bedelia did this.
Who is Amelia Bedelia?
A story my mom used to say.
Very famous.
Perhaps
Very
we ought
famous.
to
I-
look after Bolt.
I'm gonna down a healing potion, take the full action.
Okay.
Down a healing potion. So that's 2d4 plus 2.
Chug.
I want,
So-
can I ready my action
It's the full amount.
to get advantage on, like, knowing that something's
close
coming
my
next to do, like, a dex
Which is
save?
exactly 10.
Intending a dex save?
Except for the
Yeah,
next
if
one's
you
gonna
want
be
to
like
ready
a
for
strength.
strength.
All right, tell me before you do something.
And then
I'm
then
readying
eat
my
the
action.
glass.
Of course you
Yeah,
eat
you
glass.
have to.
Yep.
Viva la Druid style.
That's how you drink a healing potion. Is you eat the glass.
I don't want to be
One crystal lights up.
I don't want to be responsible for hurting my friends. Perhaps
Uh,
one of you take a
You
turn
would
hurting
rather
us.
that we...
I don't mind, and I move it to the next one.
Which
Um,
one?
Unsafe.
So I need you to roll me a check here to make sure that you move it to the right door.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you are.
no!
That's a natural one.
So which store were you intending it to go to? The unsafe, the
Unsafe.
Topaz.
So,
So you hit the ruby
Infernal?
one instead, and
Okay.
again it slams closed. And everybody roll me a dex save.
And I'm gonna assume I'm gonna lose that
12.
advantage.
Oh, we're like...
Because I
Yeah.
Oh, 9.
3 12s, a 9.
20.
20. So Ezra's the only one who takes damage. And you are going to take 6 fire damage as the room, as like all these little holes appear and shoot flames up. And you're the only one who can avoid them. And then all the crystals reset.
I mean, there's only one more,
Yeah,
but
there's only one other option.
Do I smell barbecue?
perhaps they're all bad.
I
I think
will.
we're missing something very obvious.
Let's go to
That's
the
usually,
front door.
that's usually the case with me in puzzles,
Do
if I'm being
we-
honest.
I
You
forgot.
believe in God, right? Perhaps a prayer.
Yes. I would like to.
And they say
Go ahead and roll me a religion.
Which I guess means that I would believe in God too if I think it's
for
gonna work.
science.
Oh, not good.
Is that your
11.
11. Again, you
Either
can't
or.
really hear the trio in here. You weren't able to get any advice from them before, and that's still continuing within here.
Maybe you pray to Glitterbug.
No.
There's
Absolutely
a tinkling laugh that comes across.
It's
There's an epic
sacrilege.
dice.
I hate that I'm going to suggest this, but perhaps we all pick a different door and try to walk through at the same time.
One of the crystals lights up.
Let's try it.
All right. I pick the unsafe door.
I'll go safe. That didn't work for me before.
Is
Is
But
it light enough for him to see in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some sconces
Okay,
around.
good.
So.
Just making sure.
I will go to the ruby door.
Okay. So again, you all walk up to your individual doors. You try to push against them. You try to feel for any sort of hatch or anything, but it really just looks like the solid crystal just changed colors, and there is no way for you to pass.
While they're doing that, like I've got my hands just kind of feeling for any changes. Not anything. Changed on that?
the only thing that's changed with the diorama itself is the two doors that you've already tried have slammed shut.
I'm gonna reach in and slowly move the glitter. Not like
Yeah, and again,
Over
as
to
as
the
you
door.
as you shift the figure, the room seems to shift with you.
As
like
it
you
starts
guys
to
are
shift,
moving.
I pull my hands away and I put them up
was
like
it
this.
me?
I'm covering my eyes in case there's
So you
blind
go
damage.
through the third door, the topaz one.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, wait,
No.
we already tried.
We already tried the tip.
No, you tried it.
Ruby.
Oh, he did the
Yeah,
ruby.
he accidentally did the
Oh,
room.
Yeah.
So
So,
Topaz is the only-
one.
And you slide right through the door. You guys watch as the room shifts, and you enter into another room with 3 new doors.
You were right all along.
And
It's
the
the first
doors
sign.
are there is a pearl
Damn
door
Faye.
in deep speech. There is a diamond in dwarven, and an emerald in giant.
I speak Dwarvish.
Okay, too.
So what's that one?
I think everybody actually
Diamonds,
speaks dwarvish.
pearl,
no, everybody
I
speaks
do
elvish.
not, yeah.
I've got
Speaks
all I
English.
have is common and
I swear there was a one that you guys all spoke.
Common.
Oh yeah.
deep
so,
speech. I got common, deep speech, and thieves' cant,
okay, so the deep speech one says night,
and that's pearl.
Like night, like day and night, or like night.
night and day, and the diamond one says day.
That was the Dwarvish.
Yep.
What does the common one say?
There is no common one. There's a giant. Is the
Oh.
And what was that?
Can anyone make out these
you,
runes?
you speak giant?
No, I don't.
Emerald.
Emerald. Are they tactile? Can I? Because I wouldn't be able to read them. If I could have not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're tactile enough that you can.
Feel the.
They follow all the regulations.
One of the crystals lights up.
Here's my thought. Last time there were sort of opposites, safe, unsafe. Both of them were bad. The third one that we couldn't read, I'm assuming.
No.
Such a-
Unsafe was the good one, the one we went through.
Ah,
Just now.
Because he tried to go through the
Got
unsafe
And I
door.
screwed up.
yes, yes.
So we went to the one
My
no
fault,
one
my
can
fault.
read, right? No one knows.
So unsafe was the good one.
Yeah.
Perhaps
So is
night, if we're sticking with the theme here.
Seeing as how it's-
Of the two, that is it's maybe slightly more ominous.
I prefer the night. It's when I get all my best studying, all my good ideas.
I'll make it more frustrating.
I
for
feel
the
good
DM.
about the night.
Maybe
Maybe it has something to do with deep speech and dwarvish. They're short, giants are big.
Good hypothesis.
Is there still like
I
a
don't
glitter
know.
bug figure in
Yep.
the okay.
And again, as you like move the figure around the room, you all seem to like shift. It's almost discordant, or not discordant. It's almost nauseating. And another crystal lights up.
So as we're looking at this diorama,
Yeah. What do we want to call it instead of a diorama? Like
I like diorama.
a mini. Yeah,
Is
mini.
it made out of
A mini
shoebox?
It is. It
Dollhouse.
is definitely made out of a shoebox.
Okay.
Oh, I love crafts.
A crystal shoebox, though.
Oh, beautiful.
Surely, Glitterbug, I thought we had a better budget than this. Come on.
Like if we look at each of these doorways, can we follow a path?
So what happens is the room that you can see is now like open. Like you can see that.
Yeah.
And the one that you're in is open, but all the rest of them seem to have sort of like a crystal sheen over them that's
Got
diluting
it.
what you can see.
Fire
beyond.
war.
Yep.
Well, should we try the night?
Night it is.
All right, I'll take the figure and slowly try and move it through
The door slams shut, and
the blast.
Bolt, can you be put to sleep?
I don't know.
Are you immune to sleep as a Warforged?
Let's see here.
Behind your ears.
The third crystal lights up. Oh wait, no, you went through a door. That's gonna reset everything.
Well, I have advantage on saving throws against poison, resistance to poison. I don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. Immune to disease. Don't need to sleep, and magic can't put you to sleep.
Okay, yeah. So this kind of like sprinkling dust surrounds you, and it almost looks like it's trying to put you to sleep, but it doesn't do anything.
I go. What does it smell like?
Dust.
Mothballs.
So if Knight tried to,
Asbestos,
and the
'cause that's what they
does
use in the
he
Wizard of Oz.
know that it tried to put him to sleep? Like, do we have any sort of
Essentially, yeah. We
indication?
can. Yeah, I mean, you got 2 magic users in the party. I think they can.
When I do this, whoever's next to me goes.
Oh, dang. that
yeah,
was some sort of sleep spell, I think. And if Night
believe you're right.
was a sleep spell, I don't know if I want any sort of blazing sunlight to scorch us, but I don't know what this third door
It could be just 5-hour energy.
We just get haste cast on us.
Maybe we should try the one we can't
We don't
read.
know. All right.
I don't like the unknown, but I will
Move the
follow
figure.
you.
Eve, you go up to the emerald door in Giant. It slams closed, and I need you to make me a strength.
A
strength.
The dankest steak.
A strength throw. Strength
Eve,
saving
wear
throw,
deodorant
please.
today?
Everyone?
No. Just Eve.
Sorry,
As-
strength.
Yep.
You.
Nat
Shouldn't we all
20.
have to
Nice.
roll to
So
make
you-
sure that we don't pass out from her stank?
No. So what happens? What happens here is you feel the ground rumble beneath you, and above and beneath you at the same time, like this pillar of crystal tries to like crush you between it, and you have to like really quickly reach up and grab it, and you're able to easily like hold on to it and push it off
I
until
want to
it.
help with my 8 strength. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, no.
You put Craggy in there?
yeah, exactly.
That was quite
Move
impressive.
on!
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But yeah, so after a few moments, it comes back up. You don't take any damage from it,
Well,
and the crystals reset.
seeing as how there's only one left, go through the day.
And
We're
you
really
slip
bad at this.
into the next room.
Unsafe day. Is this a message?
And-
It's trying to tell us a message.
And once again,
Unsafe day.
there are 3
Green Day.
doors.
Enough
There
with
is
these
one
damn doors.
that is looks like it's Tiger's Eye in Draconic. One is Amethyst in Elvish,
Yay.
and one is Onyx in Primordial.
Ooh, yay again.
So
The choir of the crags taught me primordial.
yes, mhm.
What was
So-
it? So there's Tiger's Eye, Onyx. What was the other one?
Amethyst.
Amethyst.
And
that
Tiger's
was
Eye-
Elvish.
Yeah, what was...
Tiger's Eye was Draconic. Amethyst is Elvish, and Onyx is Primordial.
Well, let's see. This one is in Elvish, and it says
Wet.
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 And this one, I believe, is primordial. Is that right, Craggy? And it says
Wet.
wet as well.
Moist.
Does anyone
See, I wonder
understand what this
If
says?
it was 2 were the same and one was different, we're supposed to go through the different one, but we messed up because we couldn't read it.
Ah.
If only I knew how to comprehend languages
Does
through
anyone-
magic or something.
If only I took that Eldritch
Does
Invocation
your book
that
say
allowed me
anything
to
about
read
that?
all languages.
I haven't gone to that page yet.
One of the crystals
That's
lights
the
up.
next page
Okay.
that you decode. Your dad's book's like, hey,
So,
here's how to read
so
what's
no one can make out what this door says here. Anybody?
Try me first. That's what it says.
Maybe if you rub your fingers across these runes here, I can take your hand and I kind of
here's-
hold it up.
here's-
So.
I don't know
No
if
braille?
like, yeah, I don't think anybody knows Draconic. It is one of those languages that is probably pretty uncommon.
Here's my thinking. If Amethyst says wet and Onyx says wet, and Tiger's Eye is the odd man out, we should just go through that one.
I think
I
you're
agree.
probably
Try
right.
Okay.
Let's give it a try.
Alright.
Since it was your idea.
You slide right through the door
Yes.
Excellent.
We have the cipher.
Ezra,
into the next
so glad
room
we
for
have
now,
a giant brain.
which has
I'm all out of languages. I've used all of the ones that.
so you kind of come down a hall and then you come into another room, and you see 4 doors.
No.
Again, there's one in topaz, or in common. Topaz in common that says yellow. There's one that is diamond, that's in dwarven, that says green. There's one. Yeah, there's one that's amethyst in elvish that says blue. And then there's one in emerald, or one emerald one in Minotaur.
I speak Minotaur.
You speak Minotaur?
No way.
Nice. What, how rare. And that one says red.
Green, yellow, blue, red.
All
I'm gonna
right.
look at your notes because I'm a visual person.
Can you read my handwriting?
Yes.
What
The
was
last
the last gem?
The last one is emerald.
Emerald.
Topaz, yellow.
And the amethyst was
diamond,
elven.
Elvish.
Right?
Yep.
Elvish.
amethyst, blue. See, that matches.
I wonder if
That
Amethyst
matches.
was purple.
I wonder if the
Oh, yeah,
cipher
you're
is
right.
we've
A crystal lights up.
And
we look
topaz
at the
is
colours.
Kind of a brownish
This
yellow.
doesn't match.
That doesn't match.
See,
Primary,
match.
perhaps primary colors, which is not.
I grab it
primary
and
color.
push us through the yellow door.
Okay, through the topaz door. You guys go right through the topaz
Yeah,
door.
I think
Yep.
that's what it was.
This is
That's,
the only
that's the
one
one
that
Way to go,
actually
Victor.
matches, yeah.
Wait, actually, can you give me one more roll?
never
because
mind.
you're
I don't know what the colors.
Hey, he has blind sense. He can see within 10 feet.
Not in color. He sees
No,
it
I
black and
can't.
white.
It's a 3.
No, 3 is fine. You just need a not a natural one. there.
Okay. Can you tell me what color this is?
Okay. And so you come into another room, and once again, there are 3 doors.
I'm out of paper space. So
And,
forward continue.
There's an onyx one in primordial.
Hold.
Onyx.
Okay. And I speak primordial.
3 doors.
And that one says trapped.
Trapped.
There is a sapphire one in celestial.
Okay. What does that say?
That also says trapped. I forgot that you spoke celestial. Nice. This one will be easy. And then there's an infernal door. That's ruby.
Infernal, anyone?
Yeah. I'd say the celestial door says
trapped.
Yes.
So does this one here.
All right, so they are man out again.
Yes.
Perhaps, as long as the cipher holds.
Okay. Without even having a crystal, you go through that last door, and you enter into a hallway. You all kind of get deposited into a hallway, and the doors kind of just shut behind you. So,
If I had a stomach, I'd probably throw up from all that movement.
That was intense.
you are correct, Bolt. Everyone else roll me a Constitution saving throw.
But I still dry heave when I hear you guys retching.
12. 10.
16.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You're all good. Yeah.
Dang it, I wasted
Ezra
another
is
one.
the
I'm
only
waiting
one
against the wall. Like, just a second. Okay.
Start leaking
Should-
oil.
Tell me, should you throw
Just
up?
have a leak
What's
on the side of your jaw.
So you guys continue down a winding hallway. It no longer appears to be a labyrinth. It seems that you've gotten through that portion of it. Instead, you're just kind of winding back and forth. Again, it's dark, so you have to be guided.
It's the world's laziest labyrinth. It's just straight.
Yep. But you hit a dead end, and you turn around, and it's a new hallway behind you.
It's like the Harry Potter Gauntlet of Fire.
So you guys come to a room that has 6 stone statues in a ring, and each of the statues seems to be attached to a sort of groove in the ground. Almost like there's a notch taken out of the ground that leads into the center.
Like a pathway for it to travel on or something.
Almost like
My time reading about Link and his adventures for the Ocarina.
It'll come in handy.
A vaulted ceiling 100 feet high ends with very wicked-looking crystal spikes.
That's troubling.
Sharp and angled downward. And importantly as well, an unconscious Ainur, Elevir, a halfling woman, I'm just going to give you her name because she's the person you're here for, lays in one corner.
Unconscious.
Unconscious. She appears to be bloodied, but stable.
What's on the ground? Is it just a flat ground?
Just flat ground. The only thing that breaks it up are the... And I say 6 stone statues, but really there is only... I think there's actually... There are 5. But there are 7 pedestals, but there are only 5 statues. One of them is empty, and then one of them has a box sitting on it. And then as far as the other statues go, if you want to know, so the north statue is missing. That's where the wooden box is. The east statue has a beautiful human woman in noble clothing. And I'm assuming that as I'm describing this, you guys are also describing it to Victor as well.
So this is east?
Yeah, the east statue is a beautiful human woman in noble clothing. The south statue has an armored man bearing a symbol, and I'm going to need everybody to roll me a history check for that symbol. Except for Eve, you already know what this is.
18.
Oh.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
You're 2019.
Can't see.
We're in a lot of saints.
So this is he's bearing the symbol of House Whitetail from Terrebonne. Kind of an older look to it, but it checks out.
Do they raise boundaries as well?
Whitetail? No.
Oh, I know, that'd be deer. Never mind.
The west statue is a snarling gnoll with a deadly-looking flail. The southwest statue is an empty pedestal. No box on it or anything. The northwest statue is a Goliath man who has 2 gigantic spiked shields and is covered in heavy armor.
Which direction was that?
That is the
Northwest.
And then the southeast statue, southwest, is an elven woman with sharp eyes and an even sharper looking glaive.
So there's no statue directly to the north. That's where the box is.
That's where the box is.
And to the northeast.
To the southwest.
Southwest
is the empty pedestal.
Okay. And
then unconscious armor.
okay. And is she in the middle? Is she in front of one of these?
She's often on one side, and again, sconces light up as soon as you enter the room. By the way, she's off to one side, just kind of slumped over, not in the middle of the statues or anything. It looks like maybe, judging by what you can see, she maybe drug her way over because there are a couple of blood splotches from the center.
That gnome. It must be.
Ainor.
Yeah, she's Olivia.
Yes, I will run to.
Don't wake
Ainor.
her just yet.
Okay.
She's from Willow Creek Hollow, and she might know about me.
But she might be able to help us figure out how to get out of here. Or at least tell us what didn't work, apparently.
Have you had any dealings with her in the past?
No, but I'm assuming in a town like that, it's probably pretty big news. Fine.
What news?
That, well, I guess maybe there's no news. I'm not sure.
Well, Cory gave us a preamble at the start of the last session, so we as players know that, but our characters were never told anything about.
I believe that Ezra shared.
I told you that I was on the run and I had a book from my dad.
Book.
That's about it.
That's about it. It's fine.
Ezra,
Just wake her up.
Ezra, I know about the book.
Are you? What book?
My employer asked me to locate a book, a tome of powerful magic. And
I'm gonna ready some fire in my hands.
And that it was last seen in Willow Creek Hollow. When you told me that's where you were from and that you were running from the Arcanum, I knew the Arcanum was looking for it. I put 2 and 2 together. I know what it is you have, and it's sought after by many people. I'm trying to keep you safe and protect you. I don't want it to fall into the Arcanum's hands.
When you do that, I pull out my spear and my shield.
When she mentions that she's trying to protect me,
Now we're having a standoff, huh?
she doesn't want the Arcanum to get it.
Cobalt.
I'll kind of ease down and drop my flame. Take a deep breath.
I promise you, Ezra, I mean you no harm.
All right. You haven't led me astray this far. I see no reason not to trust you.
If you feel that it's unsafe to wake the gnome, then I won't.
It's fine. We need help. We're in a kind of desperate situation. We can sort it all out later.
What does she know?
I don't know.
What do you suspect she may know?
Well, if my father was arrested, which I assume he was, I haven't been able to confirm. That would be pretty big news.
Does she know? Have you met her before?
She's from Willow Creek Hollow. It's not that large of a city. Kind of everyone knows
It does have
everyone.
a pretty big colony, though.
Right. But it still has a small town, kind of everybody knows each other, or at least
So it's
kind of
like
what's
Dixie.
going on. Yeah. It's a community college. But it has really good reviews.
We don't need to tell her who you are.
It's true.
If you don't think she would recognize you.
I mean, there's not a lot of half orc, half elven kind, but
what is
I
it?
look more orc, I guess. She might
What is it about this book exactly that everyone seems to be searching for?
I don't know exactly the extent of it all.
Neither
But
do I.
my father was involved with some sort of illegal research in time magic. That's how much I've been able to gather thus far. And I haven't been able to unlock anything else from the book. But at this point, it's enough to know that carrying this information damns me in the eyes of the Arcana.
I've always thought their prohibition against time magic was a little odd. Makes no difference to me.
Well,
But
it's dangerous, and I understand why it's illegal, but I just don't know why my father was involved with it. He wouldn't do this out of trying to gain power or some evil intent. There's something else to it. I just don't know what it is.
Well, seeing the kind of person that you are and you've shown yourself to be, we can assume your father was also a good man, seeing as how he raised you.
He was good. He was a good man. He is a good man. I hope he's still alive. I don't know what the Arcana would do to him for this.
And they know what the book contained, I assume.
He didn't give me much. He just told me to keep it safe.
Would I have ever, like, in my looking for contracts and things, would I have ever stumbled across or heard anything that happened?
Nope.
Anything big? Nothing?
Nope.
well,
All right.
are we going to heal her? I
Yes.
don't know how much,
If you would like.
how long she's been like this.
Stand back a little bit.
Yeah, I'll kind of just pull my cloak a little bit. and
If
kind
you want, I've chased plenty of people. I've seen how they do their disguises.
Can I assist him in, like, maybe...
Yeah, if you'd like to go and disguise.
Would you like to disguise
What's
yourself?
down?
Makeover time!
You put glasses on.
Yeah, I put on a baseball hat.
You get your
So
Groucho
you,
Marx
so you
glasses.
apply some basic medicine, some healing magic. I won't make you spend a
Take
spell
some
slot for it.
like,
But Einor still doesn't wake. It seems like whatever affected her has affected her badly enough that she needs a lot more rest in order to get through that trauma.
Does she smell like sleep dust? Don't take too big of a whiff.
Eve collapses on top of the nose.
Ezra, you don't need to worry. I can't wake her.
And your secret is safe with us.
Do you know what's wrong with her?
What do you want me to roll?
Another medicine check would be great.
18.
18. You're pretty sure it's not anything like any sort of magical malady or anything. It's more of just like she's been through. It might like in scientific terms, it might be a coma that she's in, but almost like her body is just shut down right now to try and heal itself.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like it's anything serious. She's stable, but she's just not going to be awake.
Does she have any wounds, like any visible wounds?
Not anymore. Not after the little bit of healing that he was able to afford.
As far as I can tell, she's had a traumatic experience and her body is trying to protect itself.
So,
Well,
I would like to go and do an investigation check on
Okay.
the statues to try to figure out, because you said there were like tracks in the ground
Yeah.
for them.
Mhm.
Is it so they can slide or move?
Yeah, I wouldn't even make you roll for that. They like as you like grab one, it kind of shifts a little bit with you, and you can easily rock it. You can hear the mechanisms as they're basically like on.
I can
on
hear like,
wheels
there's like
and
gears
cars,
or
yeah,
something.
gears.
Okay.
Yep.
When he moves it, like, and I'm assuming I can kind of hear what's going on. I'm gonna want to stay close. Is it just the one that moves, or do they all move?
It's just the one that moves, like, and then they all just basically have the outside edge, and they can move into the center.
Oh, gotcha.
And how many of them are there that can move? There's
So
5 or 7.
the 5 that have things on them can move.
The other ones cannot.
The one with the box is just a solid pedestal, and the one that's empty is just a solid pedestal.
And is there a track for those to move at all?
No.
Not at all. Okay.
It looks like each one of these is on some kind of mechanism, gears or something, and they can slide towards the center. Seeing as how there's 5 of them and there's 5 of us, perhaps we could all move them inward together.
What if these are all things that we must defeat? I don't want to fight 5.
at once.
So there was.
I have a feeling that these sharp, pointy things on the ceiling might not be our friends.
Roll me a perception.
Fair.
Me?
Yeah.
Does the one that does anyone have a northwest? So he can
It's an 11.
A Goliath, not
Yeah.
an orc. Okay.
I have
With a spike shield. Thank you.
spike shield.
You're welcome.
Two spike shields, right?
Yeah.
So
Like big
across
tower
from each,
shield, spike
so
shields.
across from each other, northwest and southeast would be an elven woman and a Goliath with spike shield.
Across this way.
Yeah.
Across this way is a knoll.
Then you have Knoll and a woman, noble, beautiful. North and south, it would be missing box versus a warrior with the house whitetail.
Not a missing box. There is a box.
Empty box.
Yeah.
Sorry, empty box.
None of you have checked the box.
Yeah.
I will check the box.
It is not empty.
Oh, I thought you said it was empty
Nope.
first.
It is a wooden box, but it is not empty. The pedestal itself is empty, save for the wooden box.
Got it.
Victor, you open up the box and you kind of start feeling around inside of it. You can kind of hear the reverberations, and you see that there is a cloak, a tricorned hat with a feather in it, and a very delicate or very well-crafted porcelain mask inside. And anybody else who kind of looks over his shoulder sees that this mask is it is pure white, except for it has two blood red streaks just under the eyes, and they're running down the cheeks.
Kabuki
Weeping
neck.
Just like
Swordsman or
the
whatever.
Weeping Swordsman from the
It is
college.
indeed
Yeah.
like the Weeping Swordsman. This looks much finer than Brander's
Yes,
roughly put together one,
This reminds me of Punchy Face.
and probably would be worth something to a bardic player or something like that as well.
I have a feeling that one of us is supposed to sort of take the place of a statue by donning this garb.
I have
I nominate.
Is anybody
I
here
am-
proficient in performance?
My family performs, but I'm
Proficient,
not proficient.
no.
And acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
I
No.
am.
Do you know performance? I would imagine like Neckdance probably would have
He,
some.
he had acrobatics.
Yes.
That makes more
Because
sense.
then it's like jumping through hoops and
Deception.
I have 2 left feet. That's just how I was made.
So if nobody is proficient in performance, then Victor is the closest one that would know the story of the Weeping Swordsman.
The story and the dance, and is there a sword with it? That's cool.
There is not a blade with it.
Okay.
At this time.
I will use my mini
So
sword.
do you don the garb?
I'll
Okay.
don it.
So you can go on to the Aneria, World Anvil, into the folklore section, and you can pull up the story of the Weeping Swordsman, because you've played through it enough, or you've heard the play, you've watched the play as a kid enough that you would know the story,
Let's see,
whatever
it's
help that will be to you.
History.
And so as you guys are sitting there, you've had this discussion. 10 minutes have passed, and you all look up as you hear a clunk, and the ceiling drops 10 feet closer.
I knew it. My goodness.
Right.
So it's now 90 feet.
we're on a bit of a
It is now
time
90
crunch.
Yep.
Hurry with your story.
Does Victor put on the costume?
Yes.
Sorry, the internet isn't working very good in here. Crystals are
The
interfering.
perception check was the imperceptible clicking that I was looking for, to see if you could hear the actual mechanism as you were looking up to the spikes.
Okay.
In case you were curious why I had you roll.
It's a long story. We don't have that much time.
Give us the sparks.
Give us the Cliff Notes.
You want the clip notes? Okay.
So, surmising, I'm going to go ahead and give this to you guys just as a little bit here.
Okay.
You surmise that you have to play out the story of the Weeping Swordsman with these statues
Gotcha.
in order.
Okay.
Do you have to kiss one?
So I
Only
guess
if he's lucky.
I will.
Just imagine it's Yeti.
I mentioned it's Brander.
You're gonna kiss Brander?
No. I will go to the south one first, and kind of like I'll draw one of my blades and
Okay.
kind of like,
So nothing
ceremonies combat.
happens to the statue as you approach it.
Perhaps you need to take the place of where the box was, and you're acting as
Do
the
we need
statue.
to push
I was
the pillars to each
I go
other?
and push the statue
Okay.
that he's walked up to into the center.
Okay, so you kind of walk back as the statue comes forward, and as it hits the center,
It's like a lock, like a
there's-
combination lock.
Yeah.
there's a little bit of the flash, and then the
Tumblers.
statue kind of starts moving, and it sees Victor and grabs his hands, and she says, "Oh, my love, please be careful as you face the challenges ahead. I love you dearly and would be nothing without you. And then she waits for a reply. You've played the part. If you'd like to go ahead and roll a performance check to see if you remember kind of the basic gist of how this goes.
Line.
Those are all my worst
That, with
nightmares.
performance, that is a 15.
Okay. So what do you say in response? It's eloquent.
My dear lady, now I'm drawing. This is Preston drawing a blank, not.
Fight for her honor.
I will fight for your honor.
And then she leans in and puckers her lips.
Yes!
Do you give her do you give her cheek?
Rotten tomatoes.
Well, I guess I'll lean. Can I kiss with a mask on?
Yeah, if you want to lean forward with the mask, you can. You can turn the cheek. You can just wait. Whatever you want to do. It's your performance, man.
Lean forward because he's a statue, I guess. And in the story, they're lovers. StarCraft.
Don't worry,
Sure.
we won't tell Yinny.
So you lean forward. The mask kind of
It's
peels back a
probably
little bit as you
disinfected.
lean forward, almost like it kind of dissolves.
Okay.
So it will be an actual kiss.
Okay.
However you want. That's your 15 performance. It's a pretty good kiss for a stage. And then she stands up, and then she stands up straight and goes back to solid. And on the far end of the room, a single green light flares to life.
I believe that's the right thing to do.
That was Act 1.
Did we?
So in this that I'm.
Would you like to read a little bit about the? You've got some time. Don't think I'm rushing you too hard here. If you'd like to read kind of the story out so people know a little bit.
Yeah. So there.
Get into that performance as you take the part of the chorus. The choir of the crags kind
That's
of
right.
comes back and starts
It's
picking up a
providing
little bit.
the sort of the background music.
Denarian was a dashing swordsman with a devil. Swordsman and a devil, not a with a devil.
Mhm.
Swordsman and a devil with a rapier. Being a tiefling, the description suited him just fine. He took on any challenger with his fame he used his fame to win the hearts of many women, but none were as important to him as Melina, which is this young
Melina?
Melina.
Melena.
Melena. The young noble of
Melena.
House Darnathil was the sun and stars to him, but she had promised to a white tail whose name is brought to history. Thankfully, Denarian, I'm saying that right?
Yeah.
Denarian?
Yes.
Okay. Lacked the nobility made up for his skill. He spoke with Melina's father and begged him for a chance to prove his worth to the house. Melina's father agreed, and if he could best the champion of the House Whitetail and best the champions of House Whitetail and Melina's betrothed, then he could allow them to be married. Denarian agreed, knowing that his heart and his rapier and his wit would win the day. So the next one will be Crack Mangle, right? That I would.
Well, but maybe it's the
Noel.
father. Does he have to talk to the father? Or no, she
There's
said, good luck against the
Yeah.
challenges. So
The armored man
that part's
with the
already
white,
happened.
with the whitetail symbol.
Mhm.
That's the next one.
Well,
Because there's the
Henrik's
Whitetails.
shield wall. No.
His name was lost to time.
Yeah, so the noble's name was lost to time. It specifically says
Houndmaster.
you have to face
and
the
a knoll.
champions of House Whitetail.
Right.
Okay.
So there's the armored man with the whitetail symbol.
So
the,
it's
the
not.
first one is the knoll.
That is the betrothed.
Gotcha.
So chronologically,
Mhm.
according to this, first I fight against the knoll.
Yeah.
So I would turn to the knoll, which
I'll go
is
grab it and
the west
push
one,
the knoll
and I
forward.
will again ceremoniously pull up my dagger and.
Do they go right to the center? Or do they go just
Expectantly.
closer to a circle?
Yeah, there's a circle in the center kind of thing that they stop at. As you watch the statue move forward, as soon as it kind of hits that center, the statue again comes to life, and this Noel starts it starts winging that flail around.
good.
That's how
That's
Noel's
good.
do. He's a little bit of a hyena man. And you can see you all watch Melena kind of go, oh, I can't watch, and she kind of turns away again, coming to life in almost the seeming natural way, more than any sort of stone golem that you've ever seen before. So I need you to do me a strength, dex, or constitution saving throw.
I'm gonna go with my dex, and that's a total of 14.
Okay. So you this flail comes around and he tries to smash it down into the ground, and you definitely circle out of the way. Do you say anything as you come up? Using again, every blow you're just expertly dodging and ducking.
I guess
underneath.
he would be kind of speaking it out loud, like reminding himself of what what kind of went, and I'd say, and you know, as he fought against Craig Mandel, as he wielded the deadly flail, and I stepped to the side. Yet the Darian danced around his opponent with such grace that not a single link of the chain, let alone the mace head, could even touch him. He defeated it with a flourish, and I will throw it out behind him and then pull it back.
Yeah, and hits one shoulder, hits the other. The arms kind of fall off of the statue, and the knoll like collapses to its feet. In the actual story, yeah, you know, kind of thing. And then the statue goes just solid again. There's no movement. And then, whoosh, another light.
Nice.
His confidence grew, and as he fought Analia the Swift, the glaive mistress.
Tushan Glaive Mistress.
She should have been, and so that would be
Is that the human woman?
southeast. Well, the elven
So you guys push the knoll statue back out.
I'll turn to the elven woman as I'm speaking, and I'll ready myself for the next.
Yeah, push the elven.
And she hits the center, and she does the same thing. And then she gets into a like Tushan art style is similar to knife dancing in how they handle, like they are very expert with their weapons. So go ahead and roll me another strength, dex, or constitution saving throw.
She should have been more than a match for him. 18 plus 5. So
Okay. And then I need you to roll me a second one, because this requires 2 successes as you start dodging and weaving out of the way and taking every glancing blow and blocking it.
15 on the second.
15 on the second. And once again, go ahead and read the story.
More than matches him, but he deflected her blows as they were a child, and forced as though they were from a child, and he forced her to surrender at the tip of his rapier.
And you put your dagger forward, and she drops the glaive and kind of falls to her knees, and again goes still. And then, whoosh, another light.
And the
pushes
stage
down
crew
the
runs
back.
out and
Yeah.
pulls it.
For the next time,
Lights go down.
I turn again, and I
Which
turn
one of
to
us has the tree costume that they hold?
The dwarf's got the headset and we're like trying to whisper.
I'll turn to the Goliath next.
So you guys push the Goliath in.
Yeah.
What do you...
Henrik Shieldwall was a tougher challenge, or so it seemed. Each stab in puck with the rapier against him, his thick armor was hardened bulwark, seemed not to do anything. Then, to everyone's surprise, Denarian slipped behind the Goliath and with...
Hang on just a moment here. We'll roll your...
12?
12. So the Goliath, as it comes forward, it slams its shields together and starts like kind of moving around with you, and you kind of try to slip by it, and it slams you with the shield. So you're going to take
More slipping.
10 piercing damage.
That's a third of my health.
Okay, we need to give you a little help here.
Oh, this is very real. This is not a story.
Next time, get out of the way of the shield.
Left! The other left!
Great coaching. Don't get hit.
So
You, 10 heals.
10
From
heals,
from
10
lay
heals.
on hands.
Sage Hand runs out and just smack.
Thank you. All right, and then
Try again?
I'll say it again. I'll just say to everyone's surprise, he slipped past. That's a 17 plus 5. I assume that.
Okay. Yeah, so that's 1 success. You need 3, my friend.
1. That's 14.
14. No.
Okay. Tell me how much damage.
Take
And then
3 piercing damage that time.
You're getting better.
3 damage, and then the next
It's
one is
bit of a
a
glancing blow, that.
24,
24 is a success.
and that's a 19.
That's 3 successes.
Okay. So
Again, this is a much harder fight. You're kind of trying to find that opening, but it's basically a giant wall that is coming at you and slamming into you again and again.
So Denarian slipped behind him and wrapped him between the shoulders. With the butt of his sword, I'll do the same. All the minor nicks he had performed targeted the straps and buckles of Henrik's armor finally gave way, and the hulking man left the hulking man particularly shamed as he scrambled to flee the field with no armor.
And again, the armor falls off, the shields fall off, and a very naked Goliath and then starts like running. Then the statue kind of like he's stumbling a little bit, and the statue freezes with a nice little butt shot for everybody.
I see where
That's
they call-
Aneria's ass.
Perfect.
And whoever wants to can push that statue.
I'm going back to the middle. You can see where they call him
with
Big
one
Guy.
hand. Like,
I'll just
I didn't
fondle
think,
the butt cheeks and push it out.
I didn't think statues could have dank swass, but apparently I was wrong.
Got it.
Very much Indiana Jones when he touches the boobs.
This last humiliation was too much for the noble son of Whitetail, and he requested a day to prepare. Then sent a request to meet Denarian in secret at the Whitetail estate. Denarian, who was entertaining his love at his home at the time, left confidently.
Oh, by the way, another flare. Move that way.
He had nothing to worry about, despite his love's wishes that he remain. So I guess I will look to... So now it's just left to the empty and the warrior, right?
The noble and the crate itself.
So I guess it's the noble, because this is talking about the noble's house.
Yeah,
So I'll turn to that
House
way.
Whitetail, yeah.
Alright.
Myself. Push
So you
one.
push that in the middle, and he comes to life again. He says, "I was very impressed today, and to be honest, I completely understand why you want Milana. I concede. You deserve her more than I do."
I'll shake his hand.
Okay, so you shake his hand, and the rest of you watch as the other empty pedestal crackles a little bit, and a box rises out from it as well. It's a box.
Then you do
I'll
it.
go
I
over
want to
to-
play. I want to play.
You're
Then you
going
go over to
to
the
be
box. Okay.
an assassin.
So the box itself, you don't need anything for rolling here, by the way.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me just tell you what's in this. Inside is a hooded cloak to disguise oneself, and a wicked-looking dagger that is inlaid with an onyx gemstone hilt.
Pretty. I'll take the
Do you
cloak
describe
out.
the dagger to Victor?
Yes, I say. Oh, you'd love this knife. It has all these I believe they're onyxes on the hilt.
Can I do a history check?
On ice.
It's,
You don't even need to. That is an onyx wing dagger, the 6th ring.
What is something that sacred doing here?
I don't know, but I might have to fight you with it. And I put the cloak on and I grab the
have to
dagger.
kill the woman. behind
And
this
again,
guy.
after you shake hands, another light goes up. So that
Okay.
I believe that is
5.
5th. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so I escaped.
You said that was the 6th ring.
The 6th ring.
Yeah.
The 6th
Yes.
wing.
This
Wing.
is the sixth of
Oh,
eight.
do you want to trade me places? Maybe you'd be better with this.
They are well known for being well-trained assassins, and I don't know should one find you with their blade, it would not end well.
Well, I don't see any about. I
That's the
think we'll be
point.
all right.
You will not see them.
Just a
Well,
quick check.
they might tell you they're coming, but
Do you want it?
I would be most eager. I don't know if I want. I would. I guess. May I see it for a moment? I want to just like feel it over and see if I can find any identifying marks that might, other than it being an onyx dagger.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a history check for this.
Just 17.
It's definitely like very well crafted, standard 6th wing.
And like
You can't really
testing
tell
the
like
blade, it's an incorporate like an actual
yeah,
blade.
it is
Physical blade.
it is the exact blade that the 6th ring would use. Ring?
Wing.
They're interchangeable, to be honest.
Would
As
it
far
be
as what I've
okay
been
if I held
researching.
on to this to ask our butterfly,
Madam Butterfly. Glitterbug?
glitterbug, if ask her about
I
this?
think I might need it as a prop for the final phase. Yeah.
For this, go for it. But I would request that,
What happens next, Victor?
Oh yes. He returned to his home. He found the conversation was amiable. He asked him to withdraw. They shook hands. Denarian politely refused, confident that his plan would not work and fail. It would have damning consequences all the same. They shook hands, agreeing to see one another till on the morrow. He left, but when he returned, his wife or his lover, his fiancée had been murdered in the house while he was gone.
Oh no.
The Arcanum was already swarming the place, looking for Denarian to bring him in for the crime.
Okay, we'll pause that first. storytelling because I think that's enough information for you guys to get to the next one.
All right, Sarah. Don the cloak and
Ooh,
stab
do I
her.
get to be the villain?
Boo hiss.
You are
I
very
put the cloak
convincing.
on and
Okay.
grab the dagger.
Does somebody push a statue into the center?
The
Lady.
The lady. Yeah.
Okay. So as soon as she gets to the center, she kind of comes to life and she starts pantomiming, washing dishes or doing some basic house chores.
Rebecca,
Taking a shower.
I attack the statue.
Okay. It is not difficult at all. There is no check required. You literally drive your dagger into her back and you hear her cry out in pain. You can see blood coming from the statue itself. And it... Go ahead and actually just roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Is it blood or is it like sand?
It is... it's like red sand. That sounds better.
15.
15. You hold yourself together very well. You can hear those whispers in your head saying, "See the darkness. See how easy it is." And everything. And she collapses full dead, but you can take the dagger and step away. And then another torch lights up.
No.
There are
I'd
two
have enjoyed that more
there
than
are
I
two
should
little
have.
like areas where it looks like lights could light up.
Sarah, are you okay?
It appears
I'm not
there's
sure.
two more acts, as it were. What happened after the lover was killed?
The infamous 7-act play.
Classic Aneria.
It's like
we have
a
intermission?
7-bean salad or something. 7-layer dip.
Some mudmen come out and start doing a horrible rendition of "Let's All Go to the Lobby."
Every time they kick out, there's just mud.
Yeah.
Victor, a little bit choked up and a little bit like feeling the indignation that whatever that the Weeping Swordsman had. I might have a little bit of irritation with you now.
Okay.
Like
it was just.
it's like when you wake up and
It does-
you've dreamt
oh,
your
yeah.
spouse
No,
cheated on you,
It does
and
feel
you're like,
very
I hate you right
real.
now. Like, don't
Yeah.
even talk to me. Like, So, the Carnum, they swarmed the place to look for the Nerian to bring him in for the crime. Then they arrested him, and when he tried to explain what he was doing during the time of the murder, nobody would believe the story. And the Whitetail House said he had not been there since the fights. It turned on him. Realizing that he was set up, he escaped and fled into the city with nothing but his rapier and his name.
So there's two left.
Okay, so
Should we all swarm the place?
yeah.
Well, we gotta get
No.
the noble guy back, right?
Bolt,
Do we?
I'm going to go ahead and give this because this one might not be very obvious. Bolt, as you try to move the statue that's currently in there, it doesn't move.
The
The
dead.
Melena's statue.
So she's like,
She's still there. So there's something else that needs to happen.
Oh,
before-
I'd look in her hands to see if she had a note or something.
were there any
Good guess.
Were there any of the statues that we hadn't moved? The empty one? The
Nope,
empty
there are no statues that you haven't.
The box
moved.
of the north hasn't changed at all.
The box in the north hasn't changed.
You have to weep, obviously.
Somebody hit me. I have not cried in a long time.
I will hit you.
Go for a cheap shot.
Now, Victor is genuine after hearing the and for a brief moment getting like the reverberations in the room of her going like Hulk. Like,
Yeah.
stop this. He's genuinely like concerned at this point. All right,
I can take it.
go for it.
And I want you to remember this the next time you ask me to be your leader and make a decision, and then you go rogue. Do whatever you want.
Do you want me to roll?
Nope. You just
I'll
full
let
on.
you attack.
You just full on slug him wherever you want.
Bringing the hammer down. Jeez.
Straight in the gut.
And I will.
Performance.
I was doing an 18 for my constitution. Sure, he kind of spits some blood out, and like holds his breath. You know, like little kids when they're trying to like force tears or something. Like holds his breath, and you like see his like veins popping out of his throat. He was crying help at all.
Do you just cry where you're at, or what do you like? What do you do? Do you?
I'll go to the corpse, and seeing this, I guess I'll soften up and then realize like how this could have affected him.
Mhm.
And then I guess I'll kind of like fall to my knees and attempt a whale. Can I do performance?
Yeah, give me a performance.
It's just a
Like one of those
level
professional
12.
mourners.
Yeah, you've heard this part. It's a tragic tale, coming back to find your love dead and then being blamed for it. So you cradle the body, you
Kinda
cry out
sob
in
in that.
despair.
That kind of like slow groaning wail that begins and swells
Mhm.
into.
Surprisingly to all of you, the choir of the crags picks up that wail and kind of echoes it into like this little like banshee echo chamber almost. And then as it kind of fades, you hear the thump, 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 thump of feet, just kind of like a sound effect coming from off stage, as it were.
The Arcana?
Does she have like any like a pendant or anything else with?
Yeah, you know what? She does have a little bit of like a stone locket that has like a. It's probably got like a pair of moons that have been like clasped together.
He, yeah, he will. I mean, he'll stay there and kind of cradle her close and like kiss her forehead.
And the lights go out dramatically as you hear "Don't move," coming from off stage, and another light flickers on at the door, and then all the lights come back up, and you can move the statue freely.
Okay.
I think we have to move.
Eve will clap.
We have to have the white tail.
Yeah, that
Soldier.
really helped.
I'm sorry, Victor.
What
Lie.
what else can you remember from the story?
Well,
And he's kind of genuinely like choked up. But the choir of the crags is like wrapped up in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But
they didn't believe him. He told them where they were at, and the bastard, the House Whitetail, they denied everything.
I'll try to move that statue.
There is more to the story.
Oh, there is, yes.
You can move the statue.
I was gonna say because I've read this story like 3 times on the
Shortly after
page.
that-
I'm trying not to metagame. Like what else?
Realizing that he has been set up, he fled and escaped the city of the rapist to his name. Shortly after the event, rumors began to spread about the Weeping Swordsman. Whitetail House and his guards and functionaries began showing up dead, with a cut under each eye that caused the blood to spill down their cheeks like tears.
That's
The
gruesome.
death of the Whitetail's noble son in the same manner, along with the note that Melina had been finally been avenged. Tales of the Weeping Swordsman continue to this day, though there is much speculation on whether this is the Nerian who still roams Terraban, seeking to right wrongs, and if there are copycats out there. To the Arcanum, he is a serial killer, wanted for dozens of deaths. To those that tell the story, he is a tragic hero, trying to remove corruption from the city. To me, he is a friend. He is honorable.
So
Maybe
I
there's
want
a
to
fight
try
with-
to move
with the noble again.
the nobleman back to the center.
You move the noble back to the center, and as soon as you do, he kind of slips on his feet and he starts backing up. He's like, please, no. I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry.
And Victor, I'm gonna reach out and say, may I? I'm gonna take both and just whoosh.
Across the cheeks.
Yeah.
I'm getting red sand pouring out. And then do you kill him?
Did it kill him
Yes.
here? Yes, I did. And then once that happened, place my foot on his chest. You have no honor. And I'm gonna throw one of the daggers through his
Okay.
chest.
Yeah. Shadowmourne whistles and cries out and all of the anguish that has been echoing around this room, and bursts out the back of this noble, like just pouring sand, just spreading like a pool of blood, and comes back to your hand immediately, and the final torch lights up. And scene. So the only things that remain in this room are the props that you guys have. So you have a dark cloak, you have the onyx dagger, you have the weeping swordsman, tricorn hat, cape, and mask. The rest of it kind of crumbles to stone and sand.
I'll remove the
Oh, and Einor.
the
Say Einor.
stuff and say,
If anyone wants this,
She crumbles to
for
sleep. You should keep it.
I think it looks good on you.
I think you should
The
take
only
up the
thing-
mantle of the Weeping Swordsman.
The weeping daggerman.
Yeah.
it's not a bad disguise. It's not that far off, although I do not use rapier. Too unwieldy a weapon, but If no one else wants it, I will. And if I might
It's
keep
been
this.
described for a rapier before. It's too unwieldy.
I know, right?
It's too bendy.
It's too wobbly.
If everyone's okay, I
Please.
would like to keep this
Yeah.
until I find out who it belongs to. We're not supposed to leave these
What?
just lying around.
What's the significance of that dagger right there, the onyx? You seem to have a reverence for it. That
Generally, in my with the creed, you are not to be without your blade. The moment it is handed to you, it is a contract between you and the rings themselves. And should you be found without it, it is a great disgrace and a mark on you and your family. Really, it's a grave offense.
So, Victor, I was examining your knives during the boundary racing.
Yes.
Are each of those from one of the different rings?
No, some were acquisitions from contracts. Some of them were given to me as payment. Not all people have the same reverence for a blade that we do. There are some like this one.
And I'll pull Shadow Song out. And
It was gifted to me by my father. It was actually forged by him, and specifically for me to be able to use in the crystalline. But as I said, each blade is unique, and once you have created this bond, this creed, it is not to be broken under any circumstance.
Well, I want to look over and see if the gnome, if Ainor is still
She is still
unconscious.
unconscious. Yep.
Okay.
And
Has a doorway open anywhere?
yes, yep. Underneath the 7 lit up torches, or I've been calling them torches, so they're torches now. There is a set of doors that have opened up into another room beyond. All right, so you guys are back in, and there's a small door before you, leading into another small room. It's about 15 feet on all sides. There doesn't appear to be any other exits, but there is a small treasure chest in the middle.
Ainor.
It's still in
15 feet, so 3 by 3.
Yeah.
can we take?
I thought you meant
That's
to
pretty small.
Can we take one of the cloaks?
So you can like pick her up and carry her with you, but she's still unconscious.
Okay.
I was gonna say, can we take one of the cloaks and then
Yeah,
wrap her up? And
I've got mine.
Ooh,
from
put
the
her in one of
assassin.
those baby things, and
You're
what?
gonna do baby wear.
You're gonna have a baby
No
Bjorn?
worries.
Yeah.
Incredibly offensive to gnomes, but
Yeah, she's
acceptable to unconscious gnomes.
It's good
for your back.
It's better than a barrel.
I say, Vicky, there's a chest in the middle of the room, and I'm wondering if you have any skills as far as perhaps detecting traps. I don't really trust this place, but I want to know what's inside.
I'm sorry, you were saying something. Who's this Vicky?
That's you! Of course! Come on, Vicky. Open the chest.
Victor, it was just acting.
I'll walk over and I will try and see if there's check for traps. I base a natural 20. I'll walk over
Nice.
basically with this is like an unheard of night. Usually I get like ones all across the freaking board. So knock on wood. I guess I'll use the blade to see if I can, with the resonance, to see if I can hear anything in it, and then I'll kind of
So there are no physical like
For
mechanical
tripwires?
traps, but when you like start like looking for tripwires, as soon as you touch it, your hand kind of sticks to it, and then this tongue lashes out and wraps around your arm as a mimic lashes out.
pause. This is the moment he knew.
Yeah.
You're probably wondering how I got
so
here.
what we're going to do, or it's just the be continued meme, right? So we're going to do a surprise round with the mimic, and we're going to get into combat here. So Scott, would you make me a 15 by 15 room just with the stuff? It should only be like 3 squares on each side. Yeah. Like
Now Vicky's really gonna be mad at me.
it is a very
Yes.
very small room.
You knew it was a.
You can retcon it if you want.
Let's do it out one more. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. So let me go ahead and roll this with disadvantage because you rolled a nat 20, so you are hyper aware right now. So that is only a 10 to hit you.
Does not hit.
So the bite attack misses, but you are grappled by the thing, and you have a escape DC in order to get out of it as an action.
Zeri, I swear, if you knew what this was.
Ability checks made to escape this grapple have disadvantage as well, by the way.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and take a look at the beautiful mimic.
Nice.
This is my work,
Cory
guys. I painted this one. So
The teeth.
yeah.
Ugh.
I
Grapple,
was
you said?
hoping for something a little less slimy inside.
Always remember, there's at least one mimic in every fantasy world.
Love it. Good job.
Oh yeah.
And you said it was just grapple, right?
Yeah, it was just you are grappled. You're basically adhered to this thing.
Okay.
Is he still drunk?
I'm
Oh,
having a great
initiative,
time.
did you say?
Yep.
Yes.
Next time I wait for her to say something.
Ezra,
Dirty 20.
20.
Remember
Victor,
the punch.
Victor?
What?
initiative.
Oh, initiative. That is 14 plus 3, 7.
17. Seredan.
6.
Eve.
7.
Bolt.
15.
Hey, that's much improved with the name of it.
Nice.
So the story is Cory.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Cory goes, I want to paint something, but I don't want you to know about it. Because he didn't want me to know that there was a mimic, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, are you sure that we have all of the miniatures out? Because we had them all on the table.
Primer.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
primer ready to go. And I was like, I don't know, maybe. Like, I don't know what you're... And then he spent a little while looking for him, couldn't find it. And finally broke down. He's like, fine, it's this. I need a primer. or
Where's
whatever.
the mimic? I
Yeah,
need a primer.
What am I doing?
I don't know, but I don't like when you go back over there.
No, we're good.
The whole room is a mimic. We are in its stomach. Congratulations.
It's very rad.
Excellent. Let us get into combat. And you guys thought this was going to be all puzzles. Sorry, this is the first mimic that I've ever dropped on a party.
That's
so
perfect. Now I have trust issues.
If you already didn't have trust issues with me as your
Wait a minute. I
you haven't
swear
been
we
paying
fought
attention.
some in
It was in the
Lord of the Dragon
Lord of
Queen.
we did Dragon Queen.
Really?
Remember
Yes.
the barrel golem?
Yes.
The barrel
Nice.
mimics.
The
Oh
barrel
yeah, they
mimics.
were technically barrel.
We just used the
mimics.
toilet mimic instead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I do remember that. This is the first time I've dropped a treasure chest mimic. I do remember that. Like, let's just go with that.
It
Ezra,
was too obvious.
you just watched your friend get attacked by a treasure chest.
Yeah, I'm shooting out a magic missile.
Okay.
So that is all 3 darts. That's going to be plus 1. Okay, so 4. That will be 11 damage.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Your orange magic kind of flares out and thump, 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 3 missiles. You can hear the thing screech, and it's still like got Victor in its grasp, but it's definitely took some damage. Oh, that's how that goes. Victor, it is actually your turn.
Do I have to use my action to try and get away?
You don't have to. You have disadvantage while you're grappled, I believe. That's what it is.
If he's restrained, it
let's
would be otherwise.
Ra-
if it's just
grappled.
grappled.
grappled,
grappled.
speed 0, condition grappled. Okay. I will. I guess I'll
Yeah.
just,
So
I'll
you
just chomp
you
it.
don't technically have.
You just can't move.
You just
Just can't move. Okay. I'll attack. 14.
14 will hit.
And that's 4 damage. And is there anyone within 5 feet of it?
No, you
Okay.
are the only one within 5 feet.
A little help here. I can't get my hand off.
Bolt.
A little help, you say? I'm gonna Thor whip it. Try to grab it.
I thought you were gonna.
Pull it
I thought you were gonna like maul it with my hand on top of
I'll
it.
just
Like
cut-
no,
cut your arm off. Cut your arm off.
There's an easy way out of this.
Just because your hands can go reattached, mine cannot.
I think you could get a metal arm.
10. 10 will miss.
It's a magnet. For
So you
blades.
you snap the thorn whip over its head, but you don't quite get around it. So
An American.
it almost seems to like kind of the chest seems to like wriggle out of the way a little bit. It's almost like watching the thing after it stops taking human form, and there's like all these little like.
I just like
things
throw the chain out, and as it's gonna hit it, it just like goes.
Okay. Then we have Eve.
Okay. So I will move up and
Bolt, I'm assuming that. Well, never mind. You proposed her. You put her in the boat.
I know an elevator on my chest. So I got my shield out there just in case.
Stop pooping the gnome!
I've pooped her.
Kangaroo care.
Is that what it's called? Is it a papoose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
Mother
on the
bolt.
Yeah. Okay.
From now on, your mother bolt.
This is an
I mean, you are the oldest among a group of like teenagers. Yep. You got your flower crown.
Yes, I do.
You look beautiful.
I'm glowing, guys. Oh wait, I sat.
It's just a reflection.
Motherhood looks great on you. I will attack with my long sword. And that is a natural 20.
Nice.
Okay.
So remind me, what do I do for my
Max damage, and then you roll the damage die that you would have rolled again.
And then
8 plus 3 is 11.
I can see Colby struggling. You can tell her if you want.
And if you want to, you could smite and double those damages too. But you might not want to spend the spell slot.
I don't have smite.
Divine Smite, you're a level 2 paladin.
Are you sure?
I mean, are you a level 2 paladin?
Yes.
Then you have Divine Smite.
I do. Are you sure?
Sure.
You have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, like
The Optimizes characters. Are you sure? Okay.
I'm making pigeon flew away.
I'm just saying, you don't have to.
I'm not going to.
It's a lot of damage, but
You could have
It's
Victor.
early levels.
Victor
I'm
would
okay
stand
with
out
that.
more
Okay.
amazed.
Well, who knows what else?
That's true.
No, we're doing it. We're doing it. Divine Smite.
Turns it
So-
into
You spend a spell
so
slot.
now you have your. So you crit
So
it.
yes.
So that's
so that was
24 damage automatically, right? Because it's 3d8.
Yeah.
And then you roll 3d8.
No, it's 1d8.
Well, 1d8 for your sword and
Yes.
2d8 for your smite.
Ooh.
So
Yep.
3d8.
So 24
then
plus
you
your
roll.
bonus, your normal damage
Three.
bonus, which
Plus
is
3,
like
3 rolls
so
of
27,
d8.
and then you roll 3d8.
great.
which was a 4. Oh.
2 more.
Giggity,
I'm
giggity.
so excited. 7 plus 6. So that's 13.
13, so
40.
40 damage.
Do
So
it.
Boom!
yeah, you full on like it is attached and it's just like snarling and biting at Victor, and you just come in and you slice its tongue off as it's kind of like trying to wrap it around again, and you slice a good chunk of it off. It is still alive, but it is incredibly hurt at this point. Victor is no longer adhered either. And
Do I
then
still have the finger pads on my hands? They
yes,
come up?
sure.
Okay.
And then it's Seredan's turn.
Yay.
He gets to go before the mimic because I rolled horribly.
Sorry
My
about that.
first mimic.
Sorry about that, Vicky. I was hoping there was something better than slobber inside.
The way this is set up reminds me of Office Space, where
They're beating the
they're
crap out
beating
of
the crap out of it. It turns
into
into
a
a printer, it's a
printer.
mimic.
Yep.
I feel so guilty that I miss horribly. That's a 9. But then
Think of my damage as yours. Because,
I'm living vicariously through you, Evie. Butt action, that's better. 21.
21 will hit.
For all of 5 damage.
Yeah, so this, you just like jam the butt of your spear into it, and just like you can hear that little soft crunch as you hit whatever core this creature kind of morphs around, and it just kind of dissolves into nothing.
Nice.
we do a chest bump.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Victor, I like if I could see you, I would be angry. But all you see is I'm just looking in your direction, very just like stonewalling.
I killed it. I killed it.
Stone angry.
I mean, she did most of the work, but I finished it.
Yeah,
That
I'll
was
make sure I
quite
don't
amazing.
chest bump
You
anyone.
guys-
Because I never
That's
say
how you
that.
resuscitate. CPR, someone.
If anybody's interested, as it melts away, it reveals a small stone pillar with an engraved flower atop it, and that pillar rests atop a pile of 200 silver pieces.
See, there was treasure inside.
Is this pillar look like the other pillar?
Yes.
Okay.
I will pick the pillar.
We
It's
know what
worth
to
it.
do with this.
I will put it in the baby carrier next to Einor.
Like on top
Give
of
her
her,
some
she's
back
like
support.
suffocating. Like,
And then as you pick up the stone pillar, the crystals kind of part and reveal the sanctum's main hall.
Ah, the courtyard.
Let's get out of here before any more crystals
How
or...
do we want to split?
One more
cash.
door.
I say you get more because you kicked the crap out of that thing.
No. But that's how it's done, boys. Right, Sari?
That's right.
And
Good job.
I stand amazed.
do you? And I apologize. I was so excited about imagining smashing a baby in a chest bump.
You were excited about magic. Okay. All right. It's recorded forever.
Some dark
Excited.
humor.
Scott, don't let this happen.
Excited doesn't necessarily mean like that's a good thing. Excited is just like it was just interesting to me.
Okay.
What were you saying to Sari?
To Sari?
Just general insults.
Oh, I wanted to hear that.
I was quite irritated with
and he's like frustrated to the point where he's not able to articulate properly. Women, and they're just gonna just turn and walk.
I don't think he likes the Vicky thing, which means, of course, that I'll...
Don't call me Vicky!
I love it.
What
so-
have we gotten ourselves into?
So are you
Adventure.
I have never met
Did somebody pick up the treasure?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
get me
I
so
picked up
irritated.
the pillar, or the pedestal thing.
Technically, if you guys want, as a reminder, Bolt does have a bag of holding.
Yeah.
Because he's an artificer. So if you want to put it in there.
I put Einor. No, just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna
You
do that.
need a jar of air first.
Don't
Make
put
sure
the
you poke
baby in the
poke
bag
a
of
few
holding.
holes into the bag of holding.
Some oxygen just every like minute, I'll just open.
Okay.
This deal gets worse all the time.
So can we add some silver to our...
Yeah, so if everybody would like to...
If you don't mind
200 silver
being the
divided
banker.
by...
Sure.
So 40?
40 a piece. Which is... It's just like 4 gold. But
I'll give
That's something.
10 of mine, and I'll go to even and say,
This is I'm sorry for going quicker than we didn't wait for your lead. I
Oh.
apologize.
Victor, I refuse.
Please, it is for my honor.
was like trying to-
It was my fault.
I refuse this and give it to my second in command.
I take it back.
I was like... But I'm not going to fight for it.
But I'll give you 5 silver.
No, just keep it.
We are all a team, Victor, and I was
Just
only
keep
giving
it.
you a hard time.
I need time to process.
And I got to
okay?
punch you, so I feel good about things.
Let's get out of here.
Okay.
We have
You-
a flower pedestal.
Yep,
Right.
you exit into the main chamber. Glitterbug is laughing her her wings off, as it were. She doesn't have feathers, and she says, "You are the most entertaining people that have come through here in a while, and you found your gnome friend."
Well, what's happened to her?
Oh, she tried to do the trial and didn't succeed,
She didn't know the play.
or she wasn't good enough to beat it.
Well,
Your
how,
friend Victor
Well,
had
she
a
is
little
just
trouble.
a cook, after all.
how do we revive her?
Oh, I think she'll be out until you guys are done.
No offense, all the chefs that watch the show.
I was going to ask if we could leave her here, but I don't think I trust you.
Oh, I already had a bed prepared. And you see like this lovely like bed of flowers with like a toadstool. Like, oh, it doesn't look like a crib. It doesn't
You
look like a
said-
Mobile.
Yeah. They're just a bunch of tiny little like actual butterflies who are like trying to
Will-o-wisps.
flutter away from the mobile itself.
You said the door was safe, and it was definitely not safe.
Which door?
The one in the labyrinth.
Remember, 2 were alike. We just didn't know it.
I don't care. It was reverse psychology, and I don't appreciate it.
So I'm going to take that pedestal, put it on the thing,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to take the baby carrier off.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to hang it on a branch, not put it in the
In where she
where
she does it.
yeah,
just
like
hang on a
up
branch.
like up on a branch.
It's my favorite branch,
Stay.
but whatever.
Then you'll see no harm come to that branch, right?
Fair enough.
Insight check.
Okay.
Ooh.
just made a deal with the Fae.
17.
My soul or something.
She's playful and mischievous, but you don't think that she's malicious.
Alright, I'll go touch. What colors? We have
Yellow
an
was the
orange,
last one, right?
so I'll do yellow and red.
Okay, so the flower and the flower and the fire.
Yeah.
And again,
now it's a fire
it
forest,
mingles into kind of that red, and you do see that the ember forest ahead of you, this burnt, charred land, is beyond it. And she goes, "That's where the evil dwells. Remember, best that, and I'll give you a little extra reward."
The aboleth.
Yeah.
Aboleth. Supposed aboleth.
Good luck.
And you two are the
We
ones
better
that
go.
knew what it was.
Yeah.
Did
We
you
just
guys
tried
ever
to-
tell us what it was, or did
Big
you guys
fish.
just look at each other?
Lots of
Big
tentacles,
fish.
lots of teeth.
Somehow it's in the forest. On
It's
fire.
in the burning furnace. Perhaps it's now cooked.
Probably dead. Alright.
Okay.
I'll make sure everybody does the same and then
Yeah, touch him.
set in.
I walk over to Ainor and I just make sure she's tucked in. And I make sure she's swaddled.
Yeah.
Like as tight as can be. And I'll even take a little bit of rope. So that if she wakes up, she doesn't fall and hell break.
Bolt, you are very nurturing. It surprises me for someone of your making.
I thought you were going to say age. And I was going to be like, that's ages. But I would understand. You don't know if I'm losing my mind at 75. You have no idea.
Well, you're not particularly cuddly, I think, is what she means to say.
That's
Or at
true.
least
Losing
not
your
on the
mind, you don't
surface.
have any
You weren't
memories.
on the road.
It is like the definition.
Yeah, exactly. I can't lose my mind. I've already lost all my memories. So
I am going to leave my owlbear snuggle beast with Ainor.
Okay.
She's gonna wake up so mad.
It's like, what the hell is this?
No,
as you walk past, I can't remember her name.
Glitterbug?
Glitterbug. If anything happens to that snuggle beast, I'll kill you.
And Glitterbug is like very interested in this snuggle beast. She's definitely like on
That's
the top
not
of
me.
the
I was
bench,
just saying, like,
and she's got like her head, the fully elongated neck, like cat-like thing where she's like trying to sniff it.
when the
but
cat's
not
trying to be like,
Look,
Yeah,
a
this
little
new
too
bed.
scared.
Spray her with.
Get out!
Well, we're gonna spray her with anything. I have that bottle of
acid.
acid.
Or the love
potion.
Now she's in love with the owlbear.
This is
The
getting
snuggle beast.
awkward.
So
we will not go down that path. Instead, we will go down the Ember path.
the burning forest path.
Yes.
Yes.
Can't wait.
The darkness.
So, stepping onto this path again. Everything kind of there's kind of this rise of smoke from the archway, and it disappears behind you, revealing just more path beyond. And you continue down this kind of charred ground. Everything's broken. You can hear the crackle of fire in the distance. Smoke assails your nostrils as you move along, and then everything changes, and you come around a bend and you see this clearing, and it is mostly covered in what appears to be kind of this purple and flesh-colored substance that just kind of is has spread across the ground, and you kind of like reach down and tap it a little bit, and it feels kind of spongy, kind of like you're touching flesh.
Gross.
I want
And
to.
it's- I'm sorry, it's just
Purple.
It is
This
just spread
blob?
along the ground. You actually see it kind of stretches in every direction, kind of like 80 feet or so. And in the center, there's this kind of big mound of it that is just kind of like bubbled up.
Is
almost like
this the
tumor.
aboleth?
No.
I've never seen this before.
He looks like a giant with a pimple.
I wanna pop it.
I wanna-
Walk up and poke the
I wanna
mound
s-
with my spear.
Okay, so as you get within 10 feet, the mound kind of ripples a little bit, and these tentacles uncurl from it. And we're going to roll initiative again.
That was
As
right before I
first
said I
you
wanted
see-
stealth.
First, you see that.
Crit! An initiative.
Guys, everybody.
Okay.
Can we switch back to paddle cam?
Dang it, with the 4s on the initiative.
Oh, you did. So at first you see that as you're approaching it, this kind of weird fleshy blob mass. Those of you who are proficient in Arcana, roll me an Arcana check.
Okay.
creepy.
Alright. 24.
You don't like the
24?
flesh tumor?
Yeah.
You don't know much about this, but you know that it is aberrant in nature. This is an aberration.
I will let everyone know.
Within 10 feet, so
You said-
Aberration.
Yeah, when I
Yep.
got within 10 feet.
Yep.
Right.
When you got within 10 feet, they uncurled, and you can kind of, all of you can kind of feel this weird like pulsing underneath your feet, as if it's like pulsing an alarm, as it were.
Cannot be
Oh.
bribed.
Holy crap! I forgot. Before we begin, everybody level up to level 3.
Oh,
You hit your milestone.
yeah.
Dun dun dun!
Oh my gosh, what does this mean for me?
So many things.
So
I get fireball.
Wait, we're not level 5. Level 3. It's second
Oh,
level spell.
dang, it's level 3 spell though.
Rookie mistake.
This is why I don't run the channel. No.
Are you sure?
Dude, we should chat. I think I get it.
so we're gonna
Sure, I
take
have divine
we're gonna take a short break while they level up.
Yes.
Everybody will come back and
I get to
you know,
choose
fresh
my oath.
basically. And we're back. So we're gonna go over really quick everybody's level, what they kind of gained at level 3, just because this doesn't happen usually during session. But I'm also gonna give an epic dice to Seredan and one to Eve.
Thank you.
Your guys, your specifically performances and stuff. All right, Eve, you took a level in Paladin. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you're level 3 in Paladin now. Go ahead and tell us what you got.
All right, so I get to choose my oath, and I've gone with Oath of the Ancients.
Seems appropriate considering the trio.
Yes, and also where Eve is from.
And where's that again?
It just it fits. So yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
like my big thing.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Oath of the Ancients. Wonderful.
So she gets her channel divinities.
Yep. Get
Great.
some spells and
I'm sure everybody watching is like, oh yeah, we know that. And if you're not, D&D Beyond,
That's right.
Quick Google.
or I think it's actually just in the player's handbook.
Or just wait.
Is that
Is
was
Oath
from
of the
players.
Ancients? No, I
That's
thought that was
Xanathar's.
Xanathar's.
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway.
Seredan.
Yes. So, level 3 Warlock. I get my Pact. So I went Pact of the Blade, surprising no one. And that allows me to do some things, such as transform my weapon now into something other than... It can be two-handed, essentially. So I finally get my glaive.
Yep. So, quick pause there.
Yes.
Because I do want to do a little in-character thing here.
Yes.
I forgot about that. We went through Victor's. You guys have seen him starting to go with the kind of dancing around with these blades. Eve, during this short rest, you kind of knelt down and you were saying a prayer, and you felt this kind of swell inside you as the trio finally connects with you and says, "For the task ahead, you will need more." And you can feel their power flowing through you even more. And don't forget that you also have the boon of the Fang right now.
I do.
Okay.
So I can disengage
As a
3
bonus.
times as bonus action.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. And then Seredan's kind of sitting there, and you feel the choir kind of swell up again as they are pleased with the efforts that you've put out here. And again, you feel that kind of shadowy undertone saying, "More? Do you wish more?"
And yeah, Sarah just kind of pauses, and she kind of thinks back about sort of her recent role in the play and sort of what that felt like. And for some reason, she has a flash of an image of her mother and her father. And she feels a little bit of sort of, I think, anger. Maybe sort of a repressed anger.
Paladin to the dark side.
And she just kind of says, "I'm willing."
And so are we. And you feel this burst of power again as the last time you got visions of kind of these different ways to use the crags and use their power. They were these heroic acts, or at least these noble people. But now you see a darker side to it. You see someone sliding in through a window into a noble's house. The choir of the crags kind of whistling softly as a dagger flitters through their hands. Not like a knife dancer dagger, just more like an evil person. And you also see
assassin.
Yeah, assassin.
And dagger.
And then it kind of shifts, and you can see this dark figure in robes surrounded by these humans, and they're telling him, "Give up. There's nowhere else to go." And he just smirks and kind of twists his staff around until the skull facing it, like the jaw drops open, and it lets out this mournful cry, and darkness spreads from the mouth and encapsulates it in a bubble. So you gain a few extra abilities with Pact of the Blade, in addition to being able to change it into a glaive.
Yes. Yes, second level spells, and it'll play out. Second level spells, and also I changed one of my invocations, my Eldritch Mind invocation, to improved Pact weapon.
Okay.
So it's now a +1 weapon.
Perfect. Sweet. Alrighty. And then Victor, I've kind of gone over a little bit here, but why don't you go and tell us what the knife dancer
Basically, I get Blade Mystic at the 3rd level, which basically what it allows me to do is basically it's kind of like the Trickster Rogue, where you get to cast spells and that kind of stuff. And I chose...
You can cast those with points, though, right? Like
this is with points.
Sort of like key points.
Key points, yeah. It's more the performance points rather than the other ones. And specifically, I chose Sword Burst and Booming Blade for my 2 cantrips. And part of this is also getting a bonded blade and being able to bond with up to 6. Right now it's 6 because it's my proficiency bonus plus my rogue level is how many blades you can bond with, and they basically become an extension of me. And
so you form this connection. You can kind of see all 6 of these blades kind of come up and just kind of like swirling around you, and you all watch Victor as he kind of like full on like focuses in. For a moment, they seem to make like a 3-pronged wing on either side of him, and then he kind of does a few practice movements that you've been taught but never been able to perform before.
Imagine it's like water bending, but like with blades.
Yep. And that includes the Onyx Dagger, if you wish.
Sure. And do I hear its name when I bond with this?
Oh, yes, you do.
Through that kind of process, I kind of bond with the essence of that blade, and I find that the name of the blade, the Onyx blade that we just picked up, is Blackthorn. And I kind of give it.
Don't take a drink; it's not a reference.
And I kind of, I'm not. Yes, dang it. And I kind of, despite not knowing it won't respond, kind of saying that I will find your.
I will find the person you belong to, and restore your honor.
Yeah, it does not respond.
I also have, so as part of that...
Stupid non-sentient weapons.
I know, right? A part of this is the being able to throw daggers out and being able to call them back in specific scenarios, which I'll let it play out later because I need to make sure I fully understand it.
Yep. It's basically a setup and reward type bonus action thing.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So with the performance points, I also have the ability to do honed edge blades.
Can we do a future card? No.
I know, right?
Future card can come back.
And then bladed defense are 2, but we'll find out what those are.
Okay.
When they play out.
Wonderful. And then Ezra, what does...
Level 3. I get level 2 spell slots. I get some health. Just a little beefier. That's pretty much it.
Also, if you would like, you can go ahead and roll me an Arcana check during the short rest to do more research. I know you've done it already today, but we can see.
So 24. So let's add that. So that is that's enough to unlock the first.
So first of all, it unlocks another journal page, which we will write up and discuss later, just because I don't have that prepared.
So right now, is it like obscured and then it like kind of comes into focus, or is it like physically you can't turn the page?
No, it's just like he's been translating slowly.
Oh, okay, got it. So it's there. It's not like it's...
I am now attuned to my father's...
And there is another special thing that happens when you become attuned. As soon as I can find it.
Become a scion?
Okay, so yeah, sorry. There is no specific thing that you get. You've just fully unlocked the spells in this book. Chronergy magic is completely open to you.
Cool.
And basically as you level up, you can use that as like, oh, I've discovered this new spell in the book.
Right.
But there is at 200 research, which you could do once a day. You will get another benefit.
Is this a
from spell.
carryover, or do I start at 0?
You will start at 0 and
Okay.
move on again. Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay. So yeah, Ezra spends his time reading the book. What spells did you pick up? Do you want to? Discuss
I
those?
just took. I get web basically. That's what I have. So,
Okay.
I have another learn spell, but just not prepared.
Okay. And then Bolt.
I took a 3rd level in Artificer, and I got to choose my Artificer speciality. So I took Armor,
Nice.
which gets me 2 prepared spells all the time, Thunder Wave and Magic Missile.
Nice.
And then I also get, as a bonus action, I can get temporary HP based on or 3 temporary hit points as like a Guardian Armor defensive field thing, because I chose the Guardian Armor. And I also get the Thunder Gauntlets. So it's a D8 plus 3, and a creature hit by the gauntlet has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than me until the start of my next turn.
Now, is this something that Bolt has been tinkering with for a while, or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been working just like the Thorn Whip thing. He's been working on trying to enhance his armor a little bit by little bit, and as he's working on it while we were taking the short rest, something just clicked for him, and maybe quite literally.
Yeah.
You know. And it went, and it was able to activate a couple features of the armor that he'd been working on.
He goes through a really cool like Iron Man, all the plates like moving around on his armor.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. And then the party moved on. Sorry for the backtrack here. Party moved on, found this fleshy substance. Seredan, emboldened by their newfound power, marched towards it, and tentacles flared out from it, and we got into combat. So
Great.
everyone, please roll initiative for me. That was very Christopher Walken there.
Roll.
I still have
Roll
my initiative.
initiative.
I still have my initiative roll
Me.
from the first. Oh, I don't really do it.
If you already had your
Yeah,
initiative
I
rolled,
read
yeah.
it down.
Ezra, what did you get?
26.
26. Victor.
I believe. Roll 16. Yeah. 16.
When I played a
Bolt.
superhero game. 15.
I played a speedster.
I had plus 40 to initiative.
Eve.
So I can roll a 1 and get higher than anyone else, even if they correct.
Seredan?
I get to add my
14.
intelligence as part of my
14.
chronology.
Not
stuff.
614.
You are definitely.
Would you like that? Would you
Sure,
like-
absolutely.
I'll take your epic dice first. You could add your epic dice to your initiative if you want.
I'm tempted, but I'll hold on to it.
Okay. So the first to go is Ezra. Ezra, you see this thing start to again. It's almost like a repeat of the mimic fight. Like
Yeah.
this thing is lashing out and getting ready with these tentacles.
All right, so I will run up here. Get right there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna actually cast Earth Tremor. So it's a 10-foot thing, so I'll hit that. So it needs to make a dex save of 14. So I'm just gonna kind of run up and like punch the ground, and as I like punch it, like my fist like has like a burst of like orange energy as it hits and kind of just ripples.
Sweet.
It did make it save. Was it half damage on save? Or
Let me check.
because it crit on its save.
On a failed save, a creature takes 6 if I'm prone. Doesn't say. Failed save, creature takes 6.
It should say like half damage.
It doesn't say.
It's
so
a
it
cantrip,
doesn't
right?
take. It's a first level spell,
It's a
so
first level
I
spell.
don't think it takes any damage here. That makes it dexterity save. On a failed save, a creature takes 1d6 and is not prone. Ground is difficult terrain.
Yeah, if the ground or area is loose dirt or stone, it
Yeah.
becomes different.
But it doesn't
So
say
it-
anything
so if
about
it
it.
saves,
that
it doesn't take any
so it
damage,
doesn't take
okay.
any damage.
Yeah, so you slam your fist on the ground, this kind of wave of energy goes out, and you see it hits this thing, and you're basically punching the flesh, right?
Yeah.
And the glow kind of permeates for a moment and then just kind of sinks into it, and you guys watch as it like pulses a little bit more rapidly as it absorbs this magic and doesn't take any damage from it.
Okay.
Then, kind of spewing out from the fleshy mountain, kind of like a thing ripples open, and two
Like a big zit that pops.
Yeah, and two creatures appear out of it.
You try.
And they look very. They kind of have these little spine here. I'll just let you guys pass those around a little bit.
Gross. They look like cicadas, kind of.
It's
Zerglings. That's what
Zerglings.
they look like zerglings.
Those two are the fresh ones. They just barely popped out. They'll pop out in defense right in front.
Do we hear
right there.
You require more overlords.
But you can also hear chittering in the distance as others are starting to come from the forest as well.
Cerebrets.
So we're gonna go ahead and put the other ones out, and these ones have been here a while, so they are more purpley.
If we get to fight Kerrigan,
One of these.
What do you want, these?
Zerglings.
Just like kind of ring around the forest here. Yep, that looks
here.
good.
like a
That looks
sand
good.
flea, an armadillo, and a
Definitely planned out where they were gonna go.
We're surrounded. If only I have fireball.
I think this is a time where we could chest bump some babies.
And the one in front of Seredan is going to attack.
Okay.
Said Seredan. And I believe it is next to an ally, and they have hack tactics. Tactics. I'm glad you guys got all those new juicy hit points.
Yeah. Let's see how long they last.
So that is going to be a 19 to hit.
Okay, I'm going to as it kind of makes a slash at me.
Yep.
Sure.
And again, it does come down with these like little tiny claws and try and slash it.
She'll hold their hand up and just say Durma and cast shield as a reaction. So it misses.
Kind of scrapes along the shield. So yeah, that is its turn. Now it is Eve.
Okay, so first, for my bonus action, you're cool if I take a bonus action
Yeah.
for my action. Okay. I'm going to eat a sweet.
Eat a sweet.
So the one that I want to eat is the peppermint one.
The peppermints.
Peppermints. Free fills peppermints. What does it do?
Let me go ahead and tell you that. Just a second here. Okay, so you actually take a little bit of damage as you bite into this and shards kind of hit your mouth.
Okay.
So you're going to take 3 piercing damage. But for the next hour, your piercing and slashing does an additional 2 damage.
Oh, nice.
So it hurts you to begin with, like you bite down on it and you're like why, Nico? But you will do extra damage
Emo candy.
from your slashing attacks and piercing attacks.
Cool. All right, and then I will just move on up to the little Dickens. Meet the long.
The only one in our group that has pack tactics is Victor.
It's true.
That is 20 to hit.
A 20 will hit.
Ouch, Colby.
That's for 5 damage.
I will.
For 5 damage on Tan, right?
Yes.
Tan.
Yep. So you come down this
Oh,
thing kind of
plus-
like plus
2.
So you come down and you slice kind of through with the carapace. It kind of skitters out of the way. You can see they have tougher armor than expected, and this thing is still up, kind of like still trying to. It's a fresh baby, and you just knocked it around a little bit. You know, but enjoy that.
Oh, those newborns.
And then
I
it's actually
missed
its
that.
turn
Did
to
you
respond.
I did hit it.
Was it one of the Zerglings? The little
Yes.
things?
Yep,
Okay,
the
sorry.
tan one.
If you want to know the regular names, so you don't have to call them Zerglings, they are aberrant gatherers.
Gatherers.
And, that thing in the middle is an aberrant tumor. And these are homebrew monsters of mine.
Nice.
I'm so excited.
Okay.
There's some really good stuff about them, but we might figure
Cool.
that out. Okay, so the tan one is going to just attack Eve back, and again, it's got pack tactics going on. It's actually going to. No, that would leave a threat area. It's not going to do that. So it rolls a 15 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay. You kind of bring up your shield and it kind of like skitters across the thing. Looks like it's trying to get its bearings and not doing too well. I mean, it just got born and it's already being attacked. So.
That would be tough.
Yep, that would be very tough.
There's 6 different things.
Perfect. Okay. And then we have. Hey, Victor. It is your turn.
All right.
We'll have to paint this.
I got some ideas for some cool ones.
Okay, cool.
So I am going to, I guess at the start of this turn, I can't hear or see anything but what's in front. Right, I
Yeah,
hear
so
kind of what's going
You have
on
a
here.
10-foot radius or 10-foot total?
This is
you're just blind. So here's the thing about blinded mechanically is technically you still can like sense and feel and hear. It's
yeah.
just you don't have a clear picture of it.
Okay, so
So
I get
you know-
I get the sense there's things around us.
Yeah, you and obviously you can feel
That's what I'm
like
wondering. Is it a 10-foot radius from you all the way
Yeah.
around, or is it 10-foot total?
yeah, 10-foot radius.
So it's
Yeah, so anything within that radius,
I can
obviously
see.
you can and then everything
Or at
else
least-
you'll just have disadvantage on.
I can like.
But you can hear the the chittering, the skittering,
Okay.
the kind of the fleshy pulses.
I
One of the tentacles like slaps the tumor itself as if like in challenge, so you can hear that reverberation.
I will at this point kind of hearing and trying to understand what's going on here.
Flesh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna step
You all
forward
feel it in your feet.
and I'm gonna throw out as a bonus action. I'm gonna throw out my blades. I can throw up to 6. I'm gonna put
I think you can actually throw up to your proficiency bonus, so just 3.
3. Okay, so I'll put the yeah. I'm gonna basically kind of throw them out in these directions, just trying to get it. And you know,
So 3 of your blades rise up and just kind of like
Shadow
and
Song,
hit a
help my
specific
sight. And I'm gonna just kind of send them all out in the different
Okay.
directions. So Shadow Song,
Mhm.
Clinge, and
Yep,
Gnaw.
so your bonded blades, the way that they work specifically for you, because you have that special blindfold on, is you can see 10 feet within your blades as well.
Within the blade. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I throw those out, and I am going to use one of my performance points, which, as I understand, I have 6, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to use one of my performance points to do bladed defense. And yeah, so I'll basically kind of throw these out, and as the daggers kind of like hit, they kind of like glow in this little bit of just kind of green energy.
Perfect. Okay. So they're just kind of like that kind of flowing green energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anything else that you'd like to do?
From
You do have an action. if you
For
want
my
to.
action, I will use the dodge action in case something tries to hit me.
Okay. Alrighty. So you guys watch as Ezra begins to do a full knife dancer dance. Like he moves and he starts weaving, and these blades start like
Victor.
spiraling out. Did I say
You said Ezra. It's okay.
Victor? Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry. They start spiraling out from you and hitting specific areas. It seems like whatever Victor has gone through, it's made him, if it's possible, even more elegant and dexterous in his movements.
It's like waterbending.
You come out of the dance and you've got the weeping swordsman mask on.
Back in character.
Magical girl change scene.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention, I put my back to Seredan, basically in a defensive maneuver.
So you're gonna get closer to Sarah.
Yeah.
Closer to Sarah.
So I'm just basically kind of
Okay.
trying to watch the back.
Sounds good. Bolt, it is your turn next.
Well, it's just gonna run kind of around and get right up to the tumor.
Okay.
And
Tuma.
gonna run
Use
in
the
and
Tuma.
they're gonna use their
Jeez.
Thunder Gauntlets for the first time. Okay, trying out the new invention. So it's attack is 5.
Are they like the
12?
A 12 will miss.
I'm going to
So-
use my reaction and for the first time ever use some chronology magic.
Okay.
So I'm going to freeze time, and out in all directions of you, you're going to see like infinite versions of yourself. And one of them is just going to slide over on top of you, and you get to reroll that. Woo!
Okay. That's 17.
17 will hit. Yep.
Awesome.
There you go.
Ezra basically
It's just bringing a new
brings in-
reality.
Kind of like in similar to the Last Jedi, not the Last Jedi, the one where she sees herself.
Oh, yeah.
And
No,
goes
no,
the time, but it's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so for a brief moment, everything pauses, and then once that kind of melds with you, you just
bunch of
get
handsome fellas there.
you get another chance. So that was awesome.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me damage.
8 plus 3. 8 damage. And now the tumor gets a disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than me.
All right.
Until the start of my next turn.
Is this like the Pacific Rim punch when you like, and it goes, and it hits it again?
It's just. And then
Okay, perfect.
No, it's more like it's more magically infused, and when it hits, it releases kind of a sonic boom, right? It kind of bursts off of whatever I'm hitting, like almost like a gong.
Did you fist like as it cools off?
Green is going to rush forward to Ezra. He can move 30 feet. Yeah. And he's going to lunge tactically.
Tactically.
It's practically going to hit you. And he literally rolls 2 and a 2. So he dives at you and
I lift up my foot.
Yep. He just goes, "Ugh, what is this thing?
Oh, roach.
Seredan.
Okay. Like looking at all of these tentacles sort of flailing about, I'm going to, instead of, like she kind of initially goes to reach for her shield and goes, Craggy, I think we're going to need something with a little more reach. And the spear like turns into this glaive.
Yeah.
And
Wukong style?
Yeah. And then she says, right, show me this new power you were talking about. And before she even finishes that sentence, like her eyes like kind of go black, and emanating from the glaive, like this like inky blackness kind of spreads out
From the holes that usually like have the whistling like,
and you hear this like it's more like a haunted kind of like sound.
I think you guys just went into like God tier mode. Like everybody's so cool now.
Is that magical girl transformation?
And she kind of looks around for a second, and she's like, this isn't going to work for anyone other than Vicky, perhaps. And so she goes this way, 5, 10, 15, 20,
so
25,
you will
30.
take a attack.
Only if
they can see you.
They can see me, but if they have some sort of tremor or blind sense.
They do actually.
Of course they do. Every single one of your monsters is going to have it, aren't they?
Apologize. I did not realize what you would be doing.
Yes, of course you did.
Specifically, like you are walking upon the flesh of this creature. I think it can sense you.
Okay. So just this, or the Zerglings too?
The Zerglings
Sorry.
as well. The Gatherers as well. They're connected to it.
In that case, this is a wasted spell.
At least it looks cool.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. You look cool. Seredan doesn't know.
Well, I don't
Seredan.
know what you look like. I'm in the same boat as Victor for once.
So let's see. We'll do attack from the Gatherer, which you left this threatened area, but you weren't next to anything, so it doesn't get pack tactics. It does actually roll a 23 to hit.
The Gatherer?
The little guy.
So Seredan went from this one to this one, which just puts it between two.
It would have triggered for Tan.
And
that one was a 23 to hit.
It technically could have triggered for purple if purple decided to take it too. Or green, because step away. Green. They're all purple.
So it's not quite the power
when
you
that
were
attack
hoping for.
question. When that attack resolved, did it attack when he's in front of the black with the tan, or
It would have been on the other side of Ezra.
Okay, so it wouldn't be within 5 feet of my blade.
It wouldn't have been within 5 feet of your blade. Okay. The next attack will be.
But you didn't tell me how much damage it did.
I'll tell you the damage.
Okay.
24 damage.
After that's it all up to past your health total.
Exactly.
20.
20 hits.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said 20 damage. I was like, oh my gosh.
Third one is only an 11.
Miss.
Okay. And then the tumor itself, once you move away 15 feet from it,
slaps you on the ass.
This will
Well,
be the disadvantage.
so let me. I mean, as I'm moving and getting hit
Yes.
and realizing that they can see me.
Yes. If you'd like to stop before you leave
I'll
the
stop
tumor.
maybe like here, right?
So that's just 2 attack damages here.
Yeah.
Why is this?
So now it's partially in
I
your-
would like to deeply apologize to you. I did not realize what I was going to be doing here.
If the tumor is attacking, they get disadvantage.
Not the tumor. Sorry, that one didn't attack. So
I didn't
that
move away.
is
Ow, okay, I'll stop.
13
To get an
total
opportunity
piercing
attack, do you have to move out of its threatened
Its
range?
reach.
And
Its
your
range.
threatened range.
It's
So it must have reach then.
It does.
Be like,
It's got typical
Craggy, this
arms.
doesn't seem to be working.
Find different enemies.
Tell my dungeon master.
He's noted it.
That's really who the patron is all along.
This is okay. This makes it seem like I've literally prepared for this and been one of those GMs that's like, nah, I'm not gonna let you use darkness. No, this is literally just this fight.
The next
Created these
the next
creatures
DM's
that-
episode,
nothing
conflict
but
resolution between DM and player.
We've
DM is
already
always
done that.
right.
The card is right here.
Easy done. Yeah.
Whoops.
Okay. So what would you like to do after?
I'm going to, well, I guess at this point, I'm going to try and take out the big, ugly, whatever this is. Yeah, the zip.
The Tuma.
And I don't have advantage because it can see
At
me,
this time,
right?
it is a
has- yep,
Tuma.
it can sense you.
So that's a crit.
Nice.
Don't need advantage.
Right.
Payback.
And I'm going to, so let's see, that's a D10. So it's 10, right, for the crit.
Mhm.
I'm going to use my,
Okay.
I want to say luck die, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's
Epic
not
die, luck die. Yeah. Mhm.
My epic die.
So
So that's
that'll be
16
6. Yep.
plus, so 25 plus 4 is 29 damage. Blink. And then I will hit it with the butt of the blade as well.
Butt action!
That's right.
But.
And that's a crit fail.
You're not quite used to your new weapon.
It's a little longer
I mean,
than you remember.
Let's be honest here. You do mess it up pretty bad to the point like you fully slice into it and blood starts spurting everywhere. So actually, we're going to replace it with the very damaged version that Scott created, which is even nastier than the previous one.
That's nasty.
It's seeping.
It looks like Halloween time.
Nice.
Appropriate with the music that we've got going on.
That's great.
I know.
Nice.
Thanks.
Okay.
Body horror there for you.
Today
I'm-
on Dr.
I'm-
Pimple Popper.
And that's my turn.
Seriously.
Okay. Then it is a bunch of enemies. So let's get into this.
You'll fight dragons, but here we are fighting
So
cysts.
yeah, come on,
I'm
dragon.
always for fighting
Cover the dragon,
cancer.
leave because there's only cysts.
Yeah. You can't let cancer win.
That's true. We have to kill
So the red gatherer behind you, Seredan, is going to lash out at you.
Okay.
And he critically fails.
Good. Because if you said critically hit, I would probably
Critically. Yellow is going to charge forward to bolt
You're in a mess.
and try and attack, and it gets advantage.
Fireball would have been nice.
R.I.P. Unnamed team.
Yeah. We have
23.
Yes.
And since mine's
Oh,
5,
can I have-
it won't do that.
Can I retcon something? Can I bonus action and get the 3 temporary HP?
Did you spend your bonus action for anything else?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No, I
Yes,
just did
absolutely. Yep. That's completely fine. So that is going to hit you for 5 piercing damage, and he's not within 5 feet of your. Nope. Okay, because it has to be the ally that's within 5 feet.
How much?
The creature,
Five.
not ally, it just says the creature within
Cory.
5 feet.
Yes.
Sorry. Time out. I'm such an idiot. Darkness is my action. I can't attack.
Oh.
So either I have to retcon that I didn't cast darkness at all, or
Take my
that
drive for
I
being honest.
didn't attack.
Honesty is the best policy.
So
you can still leave it.
because you have been honest and true, like a good adventurer should, I will allow you to pick one or the other.
Oh, for sure I'll take the darkness
I'm
back.
pretty sure you're going to take the darkness back here. Yes, so feel free to remove that.
It's part of that time magic. You just got to see little glimpse
Yes.
into your future.
And then I was like,
You're like, I
I don't
shouldn't
think
do
it's
that.
going to work on these ones.
Really cool moment. You guys can love it. So sorry it's not there anymore.
we'll do that again and pretend like it never happened.
Yeah.
On the next round.
Whoopsies.
Okay.
Okay, then blue is going to go and rush forward to bolt. And attack. An 11 is going to miss. And then gray goes next. He's going to rush up to Seredan. Not Seredan.
Evelyn?
Eve. Gosh, dang it. And he's going to attack you for 21.
And I reduce the
That will hit.
damage. So as it attacks, my blade begins to like shine and then flies over and like sticks it in the eye to slow it down.
Okay. Yeah, basically it's like blocking the actual piercing.
Minus 3.
-3, so you take 1 piercing damage. As
She's about to scratch.
you're like, oh, I'm down.
And then that blade returns to me.
Yes, that blade returns to you. Okay.
So cool.
Thank you, Victor.
Again, be on the lookout.
On your left.
And then the orange gatherer, late to the party, is going to rush up.
So go there.
It is going to double move to get up to Victor. It wants to get within that juicy path range. And then it's the tumor's turn.
No.
And the tumor is going to do its
Lair action?
aberrant quickness, which is sort of like a lair action. Basically, it can take an
Psionic
extra
whirl,
action
stun,
this
and now-
turn. So the first thing that it's going to do is it is going to lash out 2 tentacles, one at Bolt and one at Eve. And the one at Eve will be with disadvantage. The one at Bolt first, though. And that's going to be a 17 to hit.
Misses.
Okay. So this tentacle comes slashing down at you, or trying to wrap you up. Yep. Block. Shit out. And then, and you can see these kind of little tiny spines on it, as if it's got a little bit of sucker clawfish. Then against Eve, it is an 11.
That will miss.
Okay. And then for its second action, it is going to, you kind of feel this pulse go out, and another tentacle appears in the flesh right next to Seredan, and one right next to Ezra. So Scott, if you would place
Behind.
Yeah.
Or to the right.
behind Ezra.
And Seredan's over there.
Seredan's over there. So Scott, you can
Ezra's over there.
Ezra.
This one.
Behind me?
Yep, right there.
What's her name? League of Legends. Okay, she's got the Kraken going in the jar. Lowy.
Okay.
It's like a
So it has 6 of these flailing tentacles now, 4 on its main body, 2, and the 2 that it spawns each make an attack. So against, and again, these are with disadvantage because it's not one attack; it's every attack, right? Until
the end of my next turn.
So disadvantage here, so that's going to be a miss on Seredan, and then Ezra, who avoided a crit, and instead it is going to be a 13 to hit.
That misses.
Okay.
So I still have.
So,
It hasn't been 8 hours. We're still within our
Yes, you're-
4-hour window, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah, there's about. By the way, there's about like an hour and a half left.
on the fireflies.
On that. Yeah, the fireflies. And again, like it spawns all these tentacles, but you can see this kind of like halting, jerking movement as it reverberates with this thunderous blast that Bolt put into it. So you guys successfully avoid that, and that is its action and extra action. It does not move. It does not have any movement, sort of thing. But
It's got
you
a
can
million tiny tentacles underneath it. Pick it up.
Yeah. All these little guys are.
It's like Cilia. Like
and then 2 more gatherers are going to appear here.
I've seen this movie. Evolution. We need to go get some Head and Shoulders.
I think we need to kill the.
I need more.
I need more colors.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Scott, would you mind?
Yep.
Okay. And then we are back up to the top of the round.
Whoo! Okay.
Round 1 over. Congratulations, you survived.
Round 2, silver.
That's right.
Okay. I'm gonna move here, and I think that keeps me in everyone's range, so I don't move out of the AoE. But I get 10 feet away from Victor, so I can cast Sword Burst. So everything around me needs to make within 5 feet needs to make a Dex save of 14.
So it's
Silver and
black,
purple.
green, and the
Yeah.
tentacle.
So the 3 of the tentacle, the green,
and
the black, and
That's what
the aberrant cyst.
Okay, so sorry, I was trying to put down new initiatives.
Sorry.
Tell me the first one that's getting attacked.
So green.
Green, okay, and it's a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, it needs to be 14. 14.
14. It makes it safe. Next,
black.
Black.
Does not make it save.
Okay, the tentacle.
The tumor itself
Yes.
does not make it save.
And the tentacle as well.
And the tentacle. So the tentacle. Okay. I did not write any stats down for that. I've got it on the fly here. That does not make it save either. So go ahead and roll me damage, and that will apply to Black, the tumor, and the tentacle itself.
Yay! 3 force damage.
3 force. Okay. All right. And then, is there anything else that you'd like to do after that?
No, we'll just stay there. So we need 369 total. Not bad. So who knows what it is?
Okay. Black takes green. So again, this kind of burst of green, or not green, orange. Is it like swords? Is it a
Yeah, it's
spectral
sword burst,
Yeah.
so it'll just be like spectral swords that just kind of
flash out.
And I'll try and mimic Victor's daggers with them.
Okay.
To just try and maybe cause some confusion.
I'll hear them and be like,
So you still are a little enamored with them.
very nice.
I mean, he's pretty cool. How can you not like him?
Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Well, maybe it hasn't all the way worn off. There's just a couple drops.
Then
So goes, did you
You
see
be careful,
that?
I'm gonna drop that love potion.
Victor,
on
did
you.
you see that?
Hey, Victor, did you see? Oh, it was pretty cool.
I.
Probably
yeah.
Well done, well done. It sounded really. It sounded really cool.
the
Very
next
nice.
is that
Yes, I
Black
could see it.
Gatherer who's going to try and lash back out at Ezra for his hubris.
Okay.
Dang it, my blade's not next to you.
And that is going to be a 20 to hit.
No, it hits.
So take 4 piercing damage.
Okay. Why am I in this close? What am I doing?
I was wondering the same thing. Eve, it is your turn now.
I was a great singer for a minute.
You could? No. Do it. You already picked your tradition.
Tradition. Sorry. There's been a lot. Okay. I really want to get closer to the Tuma.
No, I'll be right next to it.
But I also want to get closer to Ezra.
Okay.
So, Can
Sword
I
burst isn't like cloud of daggers, right? It's like a burst.
walk over
It's just
to
a
the
burst,
top
yeah.
of this guy? Jump over him?
So like move. So if you move there, you'll take an opportunity attack from Gray. Tan will not because it's already
Still in
taken its
threat
reaction.
And
But-
so
And you
Uh,
can
can
move
I
through. You can
just
move through
disengage
Ezra's
with
if you'd like to without that you wouldn't be able to.
Oh, because you have your
Bonus
bonus
action.
action.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the-
my
The
thing.
fang.
So you kind of feel that power come through, and suddenly you're very lithe, and you kind of slip as this thing kind of like doesn't know where you are. Or you kind of move like a serpent, weaving around. You can move wherever you like. If you want to move through Ezra's space, you kind of just like spin around him expertly. Like it's very elegant and very slithery.
Slithery.
Descriptions.
So you can
Get on the
put
ground.
yourself.
Things.
You can put yourself.
That's
down.
what
snake.
You
Yes,
just drop
that's
to the
right.
ground, just start.
A slithery snake.
I've heard of the worm. Have you heard of the snake? It's a dance move. Victor, look, I'm doing it too.
And as you kind of pass by Ezra, you can you guys catch eyes for just a moment. You can see like the yellow iris of like a viper instead. But she,
I think
she
I'm
smiles.
frightened. I need to spend my movement.
Awesome. Okay, so then I will attack with my longsword.
Okay.
The tumor.
On the two.
Natural one.
Reaction. I'm gonna
I
rewind
have
time.
inspiration.
No, I use my reaction.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
So
So.
you get to roll again,
Yeah. So again, infinite.
and I'll just
use-
pull a timeline over that I think you might be able to hit.
A 2.
This
Inspiration.
is the inspiration pipeline.
3. What was that? It was 15.
Okay. 15 total.
Plus 5.
20.
20 will hit.
All right.
Nice.
See, you like this one. Wait, never mind.
Like started, suddenly went, no, not that one.
Oh, I'm rolling really poorly. For 5 damage.
Did you
Plus
add-
2.
Plus 2. Okay.
7.
The thing lets out a little warble like as you.
All right, no more timey-wimey stuff.
They were well used.
Tiny whiny.
Timey wimey.
Yeah.
Wibbly wobbly.
Yeah.
Like 20 people liked it.
I got that reference. Anything else you'd like to do?
That is it.
Purple Gatherer is going to double move to get up to the closest person. Yep. So Victor is getting nice and surrounded.
No, Vicky. Might be the end.
Tan is weakened but still alive, and it's just going to turn around and attack Bolt. Tactics.
Bring it on, fleshy boy.
23 to hit. Okay.
That does hit. I take that back. Don't bring it
Cory
on.
is either rolling really well, or these things have a really high plus to hit.
They have advantage to hit. Is basically why I'm rolling. 7 piercing damage. Why do you think I leveled you up before this fight?
I can have another level.
Victor.
All right. I assume I can't stand in the middle. I'm going to. I guess I'm going to stay where I'm at. No, I'm not. I'm going to shift 1 this way.
Okay.
And just kind of like, again, in this kind of like, I guess, dancing movement, and I'm going to say,
I liked what you did there. I want to try it as well.
and I want to sword burst.
Okay. So all of your knives, they'll go back to their original positions, but all of your daggers and blades come out and they just spin around you in a burst. So it's a dexterity saving throw for
Orange,
13, purple, and gray.
13.
13. 1 save.
And I know-
Is it all adjacent to characters?
Yes.
I am rolling really well tonight. They all actually saved.
Okay.
Aww.
So they all
I think
duck
they
underneath
did
your blades.
They don't take because it's just a
Okay.
cantrip.
So, and with that, I will now on question.
Yes.
Bonus action when I recall. Can I recall specific blades, or will it recall?
You can recall up to.
I want to recall
3
one
blades.
blade.
Okay.
And I want to recall this one specifically, so it pulls through to try and hit Blobby and. Tan.
That will hit the tumor and tan. So basically,
thing.
so this is the other part of
So
being the
it's-
blade dancer. So he uses his bonus action, pulls the blade to him, and anybody within the line needs to make a dexterity saving throw that he chooses. So
Basically, like I'll do that as a feint, and then I'll put my hand out and call back and say, "Shadow Song, come back."
The tan does not make it save,
Okay.
and the tumor, like you were trying to hit one of the tentacles, and the tentacle kind of moved out of your way because it rolled.
Okay, no worries. And so on that, it's a 1d4 plus. I know it says intelligence here, but we talked about going wisdom, right?
Yeah, it was whatever
So it's
like your
plus 2.
secondary ability
Okay.
would be.
4, 5, 6.
Okay, yeah, it slices right through the carapace of tan, and it just like splits it in half. And you can see like steam rising up out of it.
And I thought this smelled bad.
Inside.
That's all my
Okay.
all my movement, all my actions.
Bolt, it is your turn.
Bolt's gonna hear these gatherers run up behind them, and they're gonna turn around and basically stomp the ground.
Okay.
And thunderwave right there.
Okay, so what do they need?
They need to roll a con save of 13 or higher.
That is 2 failures, my friend.
So they take 2d10, and they are pushed 10 feet away. Three! 3 damage!
2d10.
And they're pushed.
Do you have any
10 feet
inspiration
away.
die?
I don't.
Dang it.
You haven't been good enough.
I have not. You didn't even give me one for the baby Bjorn.
I was going to, but then I decided, no, that's terrible. I don't want to do that.
So you hear this thunderous boom as I stomp the ground and my armor lets out kind of a ringing sound that pushes these two back.
Boom! Yeah. And these two get pulled back as like the flesh itself ripples, and you can actually see it like kind of like bruising where the thunderwave hit.
I stomp the flesh and it creates a little tidal wave of flesh.
Yes.
That flows through it.
Then it is going to be green goes next. It is going to attack Ezra.
Sorry, one last thing. Bonus action. My last bonus action to get that extra.
The extra temps.
Yep.
So that is going to be a 14 to hit you. Okay. Again, your mage armor, this kind of orange nebulous armor that is around you, is protecting you pretty well. And then we have Seredan.
Okay. I'm going to pop this Zit if it's the last thing I do. Yeah, so I'll make an attack on the big blobby thing.
Okay.
And that's a 14 to hit.
A 14 will miss. This thing, you kind of crack against it, and you can see that this thing is pretty sturdy.
Yeah.
You've just been really lucky with your swings and everything.
I can't use these after you tell me.
Go
that an attack
ahead.
hits
No,
or misses,
go ahead.
Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
15.
15 misses.
Dang it! So close. So close.
Okay, so butt action. Oh my goodness. My butt
Preston
action.
gave it.
Oh,
I gave it to
For
you.
being honest, here you go.
that is, yeah. I mean, sure, share epic dice. That's fine.
Yeah, that's my butt action is just crit failing all day long.
Yeah, you're trying to get in a good hit on this thing after delivering one of the best blows against it. But now you've got this gatherer behind you. You've got this other tentacle that's like slapping
in the butt.
Yeah,
You
slapping
tried
at
to
you.
pop it and lock it, but you only dropped it.
Instead, you should have done the bend and snap.
Yeah.
And then it's actually the gatherer's turn. It's going to try to attack you, and
Okay.
there is an ally next to it, so it does not affect it. Which means it does not critically fail, and instead it rolls a 16 to hit you.
That's my armor class.
Perfect. Perfect for me. That's going to be 6 piercing damage.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no!
And then it is Silver. Do you have a Silver?
Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna use his action to run up, just running up to Victor. Victor is the closest.
Does he get anything when he runs past the knife?
No. The knife itself is that one is kind of a defensive knife at this point, or he has to recall it with a bonus action. Okay. Then yellow and blue are going to go next. They're going to both just rush up to Bolt.
Mm-hmm.
So just rush right back up to you. First attack is a 15 to hit.
Misses.
Second attack is a 20 to hit. For 7 piercing damage. How's everybody doing? Looking a little hurt there?
Not great.
We'll be okay.
Gray and orange will make attacks against Victor.
Vicky, you are surrounded.
One of them is a 24 to hit,
Hits.
and the other one is 2 lower than that, so 2 hits.
Yes.
For 4 and 6, respectively.
So 10. Okay, 10 total.
Join us next session when we re-roll characters. I'll just play my father in jail.
Then it is the tumor's turn.
Yay!
The tumor is going to lash out at. It's going to lash out at Eve with one of the tentacles near it.
Bring it.
It does not bring it. It only rolled a 13. You slap it away easily. And then the other one is going to try and wrap up Seredan.
Okay.
And that is a 23.
That hits.
So it's not going to do damage to
Okay.
you.
It's grappling.
You are
Restrained? Grappled. Grappled speed 0. Restrained is
Speed
tied.
0, but also.
Oh no, it does both. Sorry, this thing does both.
Oh, no.
So you're gonna take 5 bludgeoning damage
No.
Good night.
Unconscious.
plus 1 piercing damage,
I'm out.
Not massive damage.
and you are grappled by it.
Okay. Right.
And then
My
at the
unconscious body
This
is
just wrapped you up and it's like.
because you're unconscious, you can't make a strength saving throw. So you are pulled 5 feet towards the aberration.
Okay.
There.
So I just moved
Does
like-
the tentacle move as well?
No, the tentacle is basically
It's like
like it
long
grabbed you and it's like pushing you towards it.
Okay.
At this point. Actually, no. We will say that the tentacle moves with you. I think that's cooler. That it starts like dragging you across the flesh, kind of thing. So, and you can see as you guys watch, you can kind of see like this depression forming in the tumor, and it's kind of opening up like little jaws and everything.
Sarlacc pit.
And then that's the tumor. We're back up to the top of the round with Ezra.
Oh no! What I was gonna do doesn't work now. Grab. Okay. Let's do something here. I'm going to let's magic missile this guy.
Okay.
The tumor. So that'll just be 3 darts.
Are you using just at the first level?
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
Okay.
See what we can do. Oh, poor rolls. So that's 8.
8 damage. Okay. Yeah, you definitely slam into it a few times. It is more bruised up, but it is still pulsing.
Shoot. Okay.
Well, you did shoot.
Yeah.
If you've got healing potions, don't forget to use them.
Yeah. Do you have a healing potion that you'd like to use?
Do I?
You should all have one from the
I think we
Arcana.
all got one.
Okay.
Yeah, one for the Arcana.
Well, then
two.
in that case,
If you'd like to bonus action.
2d4
yeah, I'm gonna
plus.
bonus action, which means I have to roll it, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Push it in. Yeah.
Disengage.
Okay.
2d4 plus 2. Okay.
And then the black,
Not
the black
disengage, dash, or hide.
aberrant gatherer is going to try and attack Ezra,
Okay.
and it's only going to roll an 11.
So
So
once
that is a
it's
miss.
Okay. That
So
was
it's not like it
Okay, perfect.
That's what I thought.
Eve, it is your turn. Things are looking dire. What do you do?
If you're down, do my heals work on you still?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. In fact, they'll bring him back from unconsciousness.
We are bringing you.
And the base of his thing is where he's standing, or she's
Right,
standing.
yeah,
Right
I'm there.
Oh, it's over there.
So you'd have to
Then
move.
I'm gonna have to
5
move.
feet. Yeah.
So you're gonna have to shift.
Mhm.
Would you like to use a bonus action disengage
No,
here?
not this
You're gonna,
time.
You're gonna let the thing attack you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna hit me.
Ooh, like your confidence.
Don't tempt the dice gods.
It's a 22 to hit.
That hits.
She said
5.
think. She didn't say she knew.
And she drops.
Yeah.
I'm
That
okay.
would, that would be.
I'm okay.
Don't worry, I got it.
Okay.
All right, so she reaches out and says, "Sari, no." And let's do Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Which feels powerful. 8.
8 healing.
8 healing.
Sarah, you hear the cry of an owl as you gasp
Nice.
back to consciousness. This thing is still wrapped around you. You're grappled
Yeah.
by it, but you are awake, and Eve is pouring healing magic into you.
I don't like this thing, but thank you.
It's good to have you back, friend.
Okay, anything else you'd like to do?
That is it.
Okay. Then it is going to be the purple one is going to attack.
I'm still. Am I prone?
You
I'm
are still prone. Yep. You have to.
And you're
you have to-
grappled
And
still.
you're grappled.
Yeah.
It crit against Victor. So
That's not good.
8.
I can't use my inspiration to have it reroll, right?
No.
He's
8.
down.
8 piercing damage.
Wait, can't you use your blade thingy to?
It's not.
It's not
within
within
5 feet of me getting
Oh.
hit. So I go unconscious, and my blades I assume stop thrumming.
Yeah, you won't be able to actively use them. They're still going to be there, but
Okay.
Ezra, or not Ezra, again, Victor drops underneath like the swarm of gatherers that like bring him down, since he is down as well. Victor,
Yeah.
can you make me a death saving throw? Because it is your turn.
Sure.
And would you
Crit fail. Don't crit fail.
Was it 2? That was so close to crit fail, but I was still.
I'm so glad I knocked.
So that's 1.
Actually, no. I want to try. I'm gonna use my inspiration because
Yeah.
I don't want to push fate
Yeah.
that far. 18.
18 because
Whoa.
one success.
Good move. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It's tough.
Bolt, it is your turn.
So I'm sorry. You're down too.
I'm unconscious now.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my.
Welcome to playing a
goodness.
healer. You just run around and get everybody up.
And who took you out here?
All three,
purple.
four of those.
Babies.
The
The babies.
I'm gonna see Victor fall and rush over to him.
Okay. So you'll take one attack of opportunity here, which is only a 17.
And you're gonna get the old cure wounds action.
We're healed.
Okay.
And take 9 healing.
You smell oil as you come.
And I taste iron.
I'm much,
Yep.
Actually,
It tastes like metal and coconut.
I take some of Ainor spices,
Ooh.
like smelling salts.
Does death or I'm not? Never mind. I didn't die. I was gonna say, does it have any effect on the curse?
Yeah. No,
Never mind.
you didn't die. Okay. Green is going to attack Ezra.
Thank you. Get up, friend.
Critical fail.
Nice.
Like that one is just having the worst time against you. Seredan, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to.
That's the littlest.
I can.
one, we don't
Half
No.
movement, stand up.
No,
You
I
have
can't
0
stand
speed.
because I'm grappled. I have 0 speed.
Yeah.
So, shoot. Let's see.
Bite it.
Grappled, you're not restrained.
No, but I do have
have
0
0
speed,
speed, so
and
you
I'm
can't use
prone.
that.
So melee attacks are made at disadvantage. Is that
Yes,
correct?
Correct.
Shoot.
Bite
Yeah, to try and get out.
Yeah, I mean, I could try and break the grapple, but I don't have a great acrobatics or athletics, frankly. So I think I'm going to try to make an attack on the Zit
Okay.
from a prone position with disadvantage. And just say,
Come on, dice
we need to
gods.
kill this thing!
Come on, dice gods.
Oh, one of them was a crit.
Focus fire.
Oh.
Anyway, 17.
17 will hit.
Yes.
Okay, come on, baby.
This monstrosity.
12 damage?
That is exactly how much it is.
Yeah! So I'm just like,
Yep.
just kind of
From
thrust
hell's
it.
heart. This thing is like opening its jaws,
Yeah.
and you can just see like that pulsing, like it's just like a tiny little pulsing heart or something inside of it that's underneath more flesh, and you just stab right into it, and the thing
Nice.
shrieks, and it kind of just like all the tentacle limbs fall. You're no longer grappled, and
This is
as
gone.
These
Yep, and as it falls, all of the gatherers take a moment and they just start like shaking their head really bad, and they just start like shrieking, and some of them look like they're maybe eyeing escape, some of them maybe look like they're eyeing each other now, some of them may also look like they're still eyeing you. So
Okay.
we will see what happens on their turns.
Okay.
When you're
I'm-
no longer grappled.
So I'm gonna stand.
Okay.
And then, tell me this. I have not, like... Okay, so I accidentally cast Darkness and took an attack. We retconned,
Yeah.
decided to take back the
Mhm.
Darkness. Do I have that spell slot?
Yes. Mhm.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I feel like I should be
Nope.
punished.
No punishment here. The punishment is this fight.
I don't know if I want to use this or not. Well,
hold on to it.
yeah, I'm not going to play with fate. I don't know if they could see me or if that was some sort of aspect of their attachment to whatever. I'm not going to risk it. So anyway, I'm going to simply, as my bonus action, then I will make a butt attack against purple.
Okay.
From where I am. I
Red,
do have-
red. Yes,
or,
red.
sorry, yeah. It's a purple monster. but it's
Purple
red.
monster red. Yeah,
Yeah.
got it.
Right. So, that is a 14 to hit.
14 will miss. These are tiny and quick and terrific.
Drinking a healing potion. What was I thinking? Anyway, it's my turn.
Well, then it is Red's turn.
Okay.
And it's going to rush forward.
Okay.
There is no ally next to it, so it just rolls 10 to hit.
On me.
Yes.
Miss.
Okay.
So when I came back to consciousness, did my blade
Yes.
back to
Yep. Well, it's not back to you. The power is still there. Basically, you just can't use the abilities of your blades while you're unconscious. But
Okay.
they're still set in the ground, ready for defensive action.
Okay, so the defensive one. Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, that one is still a defensive one.
Got it.
Red, silver. Where's silver?
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna attack Bolt.
No, sorry. It's right here.
It's gonna attack Bolt. Yeah.
Don't worry, Victor.
8.
Mafia. And this is...
Yay.
Where
You're
were
like
these
just grabbing
rolls
them.
earlier?
She's like pulling them off.
Yeah, they're trying to get
In
on
the corner.
Victor, and I'm just like smacking him away and knocking him off
Yellow
the
and
shield.
oh, actually, I need to roll something here. I need to roll for that one. That one did attack you, so this will just apply to the next one. The next one, the yellow that goes, is going to attack the blue one, and they are going to go into a scuffle.
Hive mind is.
My mind is shattered. He does not.
Killed
he
us.
does
The
not
killed
affect
the
Overlord,
purpose.
yes.
And the blue one is going to react, and yeah, those two are just engaged in fighting one another. Neither of them has kind of gotten the upper hand at this point, but so far they seem more interested.
Got kissed a little bit.
And then another one appears.
And then Gray,
like
let's see what Gray does. Gray is going to turn tail and run and start running.
I'm going to take an opportunity attack.
Go ahead.
I will 2 at disadvantage.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm prone.
So that's just unarmed?
18 hits.
Or what could my...
It's
just
your
my
gauntlet.
Thunder
Yeah, it's
would be able
your
to,
Thunder
right?
Gauntlet is your basic weapon.
Okay,
Yeah.
15.
15 will actually miss.
7 damage.
7 damage on Gray. He is dead.
Oh, and okay. I was gonna say,
Sorry.
and my
And go ahead and roll. Yeah.
an extra 3. Yep.
He's still dead.
3 more. Guys.
Actually, now he's alive.
Still dead.
Yeah. So that one turns to run, and Victor, you just like throw Shadow Song out, split it in half, and bring it back immediately. Actually, no, it doesn't come back to you immediately. That dagger gets put into that square now. So, perfect. And then orange. What does orange do? Orange is going to turn on purple and try and attack him, and misses. They were just missing the storm now. Now that their glorious leader is dead. And then what was orange? Tumor is dead. Tumors are gone, and so it's back up to the top of the round with Ezra.
Okay, I'm gonna cast web and place it so that these get web, but
It's a 20-foot square. Is that right?
cube. I mean cube.
Yeah.
Yep.
20-foot cube.
So I'll do it so it's like angled where it can't hit Victor, but
Could
it can
hit
get.
these.
It'd be those 3.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah,
those
I'll
three.
do that then. I'll get those ones.
Okay.
Just web them into place. So it's a dexterity of 14.
The orange. Orange makes it. Gray makes it, and green makes it. It's difficult terrain.
Oh
for
wait,
them,
so
right?
hold on. They don't make it until the start of their turn.
Oh, until the start of the
Yeah,
turn.
so I just lay the web. It fills
Perfect.
the 20-foot cube. It's 5 feet deep. Each creature that starts its turn in the web, or enters them. I guess it's entering it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Makes a dex save. On
Yeah,
a
so
failed save, the
they all
creature's
save
restrained.
this, but then they have another save. So.
Yeah, it's restrained.
Actually, I have a web.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So we will.
It can use a strength check to try and break out.
I think if it's not placed like between things to anchor it.
But it says you can do it on the ground. So it says if the webs are anchored between 2 solid masses such as trees or layered across a floor, wall, or ceiling. So I'll just layer
So
it.
does it look like an actual web, or is it going
It's
to be
that
like,
orange like magic.
or is it like a time slowly effect?
Ooh yeah, let's do
Yeah,
that. Like it's like a burst of orange energy just
Yeah.
kind of hits, and then like everything's like
And like
slow
everything's
motion, like-
rippling, and these things have to like kind of like weave around
Yeah.
these pockets of
It's time
times.
web.
Yeah, time web.
Go web, go.
Okay. After Ezra, the black. Is the black one still alive? Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
right.
Yep. And it is going to
Oh, sorry.
try and
I
run.
am concentrating on that.
It's
It's gonna try and run.
It's going to try and run. Basically, it's going to take an
You don't
attack
have
from
War
Ezra
Caster,
and
do you?
Bolt. But as Bolt already used your reaction.
So I can try and unarmed strike it.
Or like, you don't have like a
I
staff
have
or.
Nope, I don't have
Hit it
a
with your dad's book.
Attack.
Yeah, I have the
Make it heavy.
So
Squash it like a bug.
11.
11 misses. Yep. So that thing's going to run off. Take a dash action.
Just try and stomp on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Should
noise.
really just
Okay,
quit
it's out of
first.
combat. It's gone. It's done. Yep.
Gone. Right.
Then it is Eve.
Okay. So Eve will just attack red here with the longsword.
Okay.
is a 23 to hit.
23 will hit.
Nice.
What is it? 8
Plus.
plus 3. So 11 damage.
Plus an extra 2, right?
Yeah.
You slice right through it. Gone. And then it is...
Oh, and I will move.
Okay.
Over by the two attacking each other.
These.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll help out.
Purple is up next. Let's see what he does. I cannot believe my roll is too late. He is going to turn tail and run as well.
Victor, you've already used yours, so.
Yeah. So he's
Just
gone.
dash out.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. So purple is gone. Black is gone. And then it is Victor. It's your turn.
Okay, I use half my movement to stand up.
Okay.
And I'll kind of wipe my face, and all the blades that kind of fell to the ground will just kind of slowly rise back up in the air, other than the ones that are anchored. And I'm going to reach behind me, and I'm going to pull out my flask with the vodka. You should not have done that. I'm going to take a big swig of it, and then I'm going to blow it out on my blades and use it another performance point for my Hound Edge blades.
Perfect.
That's my action, and then my bonus action, I'm going to call back Mist that's sitting over. Or I'm sorry, that was Gnaw. I'm going to call that one back. So, you need to
it
make that
should
save.
hit. It should hit.
DC 13.
Silver. Gray. Yeah.
Yep.
Silver.
Gray.
Natural 1. So go ahead and roll me damage.
That's
Silver.
2, and then it's, I think it's
Your
plus
wisdom,
2.
so plus 2.
Yeah, 4 damage.
4 damage. Okay. Yeah, slices through one of the arms or one of the legs, limbs, but it's still up.
And it'll just, the blades are just kind of doing this Aurelia spin around behind.
Okay, cool. Bolt.
I'm just gonna go ahead and attack Silver. It's right in front of me.
Okay.
Just Thunder Fist.
7 wounds. Okay. Green. Let's see what green does. Green. Of course, green rolled a natural 20. He is going to. He needs to make his save, but he is going to. He's just focused on you, man. He wants to hit you so bad. Here's his save. He does make it out. Or save out of the web, so he's going to move out of the way of the time pockets and time pockets. And he rolls a crit finally! Yay!
Against the wizard.
Against the wizard. So that's 10 piercing damage.
Okay. His time pockets, it's like an outer shell of a pizza pocket. When you bite into it, it's like melting clocks from Salvador Dali.
Yes.
Instead of ham cheese.
Yep,
still
so this thing
burns,
finally latches on and just pierces through
The
your
clocks in the middle are completely stop. They don't move anymore.
Okay. So that's green.
And
Seredan.
it saves the clock. Alright. Just starts going really fast as it saves.
I've got you, Ezzy. Just gonna move right here.
Let me just get on the other side of you. We're trying to
your leg
stay
to
through you.
To the right. Lift your leg up. There you go.
On your left.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's a 8.
8 misses.
But action, come on, if this is another crit fail.
Remember, pop, lock, and
it's
drop
not.
it.
It's a 15.
15 misses.
Gosh, these things. Holy crap.
This is punishment enough.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. You guys always pulling the punches this time, right? Did I say that? No, that was supposed to be Strahd. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Let's see what Silver decides.
This is Strahd's payback.
It is going to try. It is going to try and run, but it needs to try and save first.
Which one?
Silver.
Silver.
It does not make it save, so it is stuck there.
Yeah, it's restrained.
Yeah.
Hit it!
So it spends its turn trying to.
man,
What is the
right?
strength check
Yeah.
to get out of that?
14.
So its action. It does not get out of it. So it's struggling to get out of this time pocket, trying to rip away this kind of weird magical sand essency thing. And
It's like the sand from an hour.
yellow and blue are going to continue to attack one another, completely ignoring Eve that is stalking towards them.
You just walk over.
One of them, blue hits yellow for 5 damage. Still lucky.
He's just gonna swing in a circle and kill both sides.
Definitely
Go
chaos.
Animaxed out, yeah.
And then orange needs to decide what it wants to do, and it is going
imagine
to
the pots.
try and
Yeah.
attack the restrained silver. Let's see if it is restrained. It is not. It makes it save. So it's going to...
Gets to attack with advantage.
Yeah, it does. And it hits and does. It just rips Silver to pieces, and you can see it start like gorging on the pieces, and like it's kind of got this weird little back sack that starts like distending a little bit as it's gorging itself. That makes me nervous. And then top of the round to ya, Ezra.
Okay. I want to make a shove attack on Green. I want to push him back into my web.
So you want to like move
Like
here,
here, and then just push him into the time web. So I need to do, would it be athletics?
strength check.
Opposing strength?
Yeah.
Okay.
You make a strength athletics check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And what is the? Does it say what the DC is on that?
I think it's just
It's
a
just
contest.
yeah, it's a
Oh, it's a
contest.
contest. Okay.
So let me,
So you have to beat a 15.
Good roll.
I got a 19 plus.
Nice.
Yeah, you full of like
Athletics?
weave
Yeah.
around and you kick it.
Kick him
so
like 21.
Yeah.
Get back in the time magic.
Okay, so it's gonna enter its
Back
in the
square. It makes this save, but it will make another one at the start of its next turn.
Hold on.
We're going back in time.
Eve.
Okay, Eve
Get
will
back
go after
in
the.
time.
Which one got hurt last time?
Yellow got hurt.
Yellow.
Yellow is looking pretty bad.
I'll go after yellow with one sword attack. That is 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
Plus 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 damage.
Okay, yep, you cut it right in two.
This is fun.
You stay over there.
This is fun. Is that what Eve says? Okay.
She does say
Okay, perfect. Half your party was dead half a moment
Well,
ago.
the killing the things
Yeah.
is fun.
Yeah. Now that
Slicing them in half.
The two.
Those 2 in a row. Just saying.
Victor, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to make my attack
Using
using.
group name, the Exterminators.
Think about it. Just think.
So, I'm going to attack with my honed edge blade.
Okay.
Next time you make an attack with each of these weapons, so I guess it's one at a time, right?
Yeah, because you're only attacking with one of the weapons.
And it only works the first time for each.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna attack with the first one, and I'll put my hand out and say, "Mist, lash out." And I'm gonna attack the orange one.
Okay.
It's 14 plus my 5. That's gonna be 19.
19 will hit. Now, does the honed edge give you extra attack or extra damage?
It does extra damage, I believe. Roll a dice equal to the damage side of the weapon and add it to the attack roll. So not damage, just the attack roll.
Okay, so it's an attack roll.
Whatever.
Yeah. It hits either way, but yeah. Go ahead and roll damage on orange.
So then that one loses 1, and I will attack. Do we have? No, I don't have advantage on it, so it's just the 1d4 plus my. It's 3
Plus dex.
4. Sorry, I'm sorry. I rolled a 1. It's 3 plus 1, so 4.
4
damage slice.
Yep. So that thing is you kind of cut off one of its pincers, but it's still up and running.
And then bonus, I'm gonna throw 3 of my daggers behind him.
Okay.
The green one.
Perfect.
That's it.
Bolt.
I'm gonna move over here. Actually, get myself. Can I go one more? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right between Ezra and
The green meanie.
and try to attack it.
Thunder Gauntlet.
12 misses.
That is a miss. Okay. Green is going to go. Let's see if it.
Well, if I can't hit him, at least
It does
I can- I
not
can
make it save.
Get
It
in
is
front of
restrained.
them. But they're-
Okay.
So it has disadvantage if
When
it's
I have
restrained,
my
right?
reactions.
Okay.
I'll
So-
always use them on you.
Unable to attack
They're
Ezra
a lot of
again,
reactions.
the green gatherer will just attack Bolt. And it has disadvantage, so it misses it a little bit. It is restrained now, by the way. Green. Good job kicking it. Seredan.
Okay. I'm just gonna move up right here and make an attack on green.
Okay.
Oh yeah, with advantage. I don't. You're in timeout. That's a
Dice jail.
23
23 will hit.
for
Have a little
nice.
gelatinous cube. that you put
14
dice in.
damage.
Yep, you slice right through it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna step here. I'm gonna be like, that looks a little icky. Step around the
No,
time, Will.
no offense, Ezra. And make an attack on orange. It's
Okay.
not restrained, is it?
Orange is not.
Okay. So butt action is just not working well for me tonight. It was a 12.
Do some squats.
12 to hit.
12 misses.
Work on those boots.
Move on to blue here really quickly. Blue without yellow to be a target anymore. It will lash out at Eve. And it rolled a 2, so that's a failure. So yeah, it just kind of lashes out at you. It looks like these things are flailing. They're just kind of wild, trying to do whatever they can to, like, maybe it starts like trying to gorge itself on a little bit of the flesh as well. And then it is orange. That's going to lash out at Ezra.
Needs to make a
Dex save first.
Yeah, dex save first. So
yeah, 14.
he fails his dex save.
Okay, he's restrained.
And then yeah, he is going to lash out at Jeez, myself apparently. He attacks the dungeon master.
Oh, he's gutsy.
Yeah, so he rolled a 2 as well. So they are
Yes.
just flailing around. I think at this point we are okay to. Is everybody okay if we just clear it up? Like, you guys got this pretty well in hand.
Yeah.
You guys finish up the last few of them. Just two.
Two left.
Yeah, 2 left. 2 of them escaped.
I would have just sidestepped and called 3 daggers through him. So
Yeah, exactly. Just bisect him, and then I'm pretty sure Eve just pretty succinctly like stabs that last one. So good job, guys. You succeeded. I will give you XP for the fight in just a little bit because you are level 3 now, so we will move over to XP. But here's what else you find. And bear with me because we do have a little bit more to go. Let's late. So, within the cavity of the tumor, which, by the way, this flesh and everything is still around and kind of still wriggling, but you guys can kind of see in the cavity of this tumor is some treasure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just trying to pull me in to show me the treasure inside.
But it is a little difficult to see, so you guys will have to clear it away, either by slashing and hacking at it for a while, or any other option that you guys want to try to do.
Ezra, let's show what you can do. It was very cool. I want to watch this thing.
maybe you can do their sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's cantrip.
So you just kind of like sword burst kind of slice away the bulk of this tumor. It takes a minute to clear away I think it was, let's see, a 5-foot square or 10-foot square of it, of the flesh.
So I'll just keep
So-
casting it every 6 seconds.
While you're doing that, who's injured?
Oh, 5 feet as an action. Sorry, using a melee
okay.
spell.
Victor's probably just kind of like just sits down on the ground, just like
I think
watching
most
the
of us are.
thing.
Yeah.
We're all pretty much smattered.
We need a long rest.
I'll
9 hit points, 8 hit
behind
points.
Ezra and cure wounds on you.
Yeah. So it just takes you like because it's a 10 by 10 technically.
So just like 2
7.
turns, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
two. Well, it's technically 20 feet because it's a large creature.
Oh.
So it takes you 4 rounds to kind of clear everything away. You kind of you full on decimate this flesh, and you see these little flecks like fly off and then just kind of dissolve into nothing, revealing the treasure beneath. So, first of all, for the actual hoard itself, you have, and somebody could write this down, 2,400 copper pieces, 800 silver pieces, 30 gold in it, and this is kind of like you guys are counting as you're resting and everything. There is a single topaz, 2 diamonds, 1 sapphire, and 1 emerald.
Hold on.
How did this thing
2
get
diamonds.
all of these
What's up there?
precious
2 diamonds, 1 topaz, 1 sapphire, 1 emerald.
feet on treasure? Apparently.
There is, there are 3 potions in kind of a little bundle. 2 of them are easily recognizable as healing potions. They kind of all look the same. They have the same flavor. The third one is different. You're not really sure what that is.
And those are just standard healing potions, I assume?
Yep.
Detect magic as a ritual. Oh wait, I need identify.
Identify it.
I think I have identify.
I'm
I do have
pretty sure
identify.
you do.
Identify.
Okay. So you identify that other potion. It is a potion of climbing. And then there is also a scroll in there that you have to identify as well.
Okay.
And that is a scroll of friends. I think it's just a cantrip, but
Friendship is magic.
friendship is magic. And there's one more item,
I have an
and
idea
it is
what to do with that.
it looks like a small thermos, and you pick it up, and it is magical as well. And you kind of glance over it and examine it, and that is a container of heat and frost. And I will explain what that does. I believe what it does is you can put a liquid in it, and then you can choose to chill it or heat it up. Basically, it's a nice little.
Not Hubie Halloween thermos.
Not Hubie Halloween thermos. No. Oh, that is pretty good. There are 2 other items though, of very good note. The first is an ember core, kind of this small glowing core that, as you kind of look at it, you identify it as basically the core of an extinguished fire elemental. Probably this Embarrass that Glitterbug referred to, the original guardian, who probably had the treasure himself, by the way, and the tumor just ate it. And then the other thing that you see is a small diamond-shaped shard of metal that glows with an intense white light as you kind of clear away the copper pieces underneath it. And you all stare at it for a moment, and it just looks completely out of place. It looks like you're staring at a star itself.
It's the thing.
So what do you do?
Well, gather it all up.
Do you gather it?
Yeah.
Do you gather
I'll start putting it like as you guys are pulling out, put it in the bag, and then we can dig it up.
Who touches the piece is what I'm trying to say here.
Probably me. I'll probably grab it.
So Bolt, you grab the piece. It starts vibrating in your hand a little bit, and it starts shaking in your hand, and it takes all your strength to hold it for just a little bit longer. But then it opens up, and the thing flies at your chest. And as it's about to hit your chest, a little compartment opens up, and it slams into the compartment. And Bolt's eyes just go kind of completely blank, and he falls backwards. Bolt. Actually, you know what? That's where we'll end it tonight. Cliffhangers. So thank you, everybody, for joining us as Bolt goes unconscious. Well, unconscious for construct. We will see you next time. Everybody, enjoy your evening. Goodbye.
That was a good one. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Woo! Oh, that was awesome.